Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Decade Andy. It is the year 2022, and we're back. We missed, 2 weeks or something like that? It feels actually like a long time since we recorded a podcast, I feel.
I'd say more, weird. It feels more like 3 weeks in some ways.
Yeah, I don't know why, but the time has gone by. I wouldn't say clearly not a huge amount of news happened, otherwise we would have jumped on board, but it was, there's no surprise.
Yeah.
We're joined by Mikey. Hello, Mikey. Welcome.
Hello. We are.
We are. You and I both joined by you. You're having an out-of-body experience, Mikey. Get back inside yourself.
Right. I thought I was having some sort of, senile attack. I'm just living outside my own body. That's fine.
It could be. This could be the year of senile Mikey. Bursting in like a wrestler through the crowd with a steel chair. That's right. How you been doing, Mikey? How was Crimblemosphere, and how was the new year? How has the new year been, as we're 9 days into it?
Busy enough. Family stuff and niece and whatnot. So, but 9 days in already. Jesus, I'll be dead soon.
Yeah, the week went by very, very quickly for me this week. Not entirely sure why, but I looked at the day and went, oh shit, it was Friday. No, not yesterday.
I mean, at the moment, I do not have a sleep schedule.
Oh no, is this due to work, or you?
Yeah. And just well, I'll sleep when I'm awake.
I don't. Okay, that's fair. We do have Transformers news to get to. Like I say, not a huge swath, but actually a decent amount from one toy company since we left, which is FansToy, as they dropped at least 5 bits of of Transformers coming out in the near future for them. We're going to go through them. We've got grey prototypes and coloured ones as well. First one is a Pipe, or a Pipes, as he's also known, which is FT57. Pipe. Yeah, Pipe. Everyone knows what a Pipe is. Pipe. We've got FT52, which is an Outback. We've got an FT49 Jive, which is Jazz. We've got an FT26. You can tell this is in no particular order, and I don't know why the numbers are jumping up and down so much. This is a Masterpiece scaled hoist. They're all Masterpiece scale, if you didn't know. And we've got an FT49 Phantasm, which is a Mirage. Any of these stick out to you, Mikey? Because it seems like the general affair from the FansToys, right?
Yeah, they're all, like, Jazz looks good. I do think Jazz looks good.
Do you think he looks better than Jazz's Jazz-Eye that we've had before? Not obviously from these guys, but...
Unfortunately, they don't stick in my mind enough, and that's nothing about Jazz. It's just we've had so many by this stage.
That's true. That's true.
Like, Hoist is not, like, it's Hoist. I don't care about Hoist. The other 3 just don't do much for me. I mean, Outback is my unironic favorite of, like, weird little thing.
Yeah, but
that became likable.
You know what the problem is? They haven't done any references to the only significant version of Outback there is, which is Dead Outback.
They need a we need like horror, like we need an Outback, and it comes with like you can remove parts and just give him like decayed, rusted body, but also like give him face like he's talking because an old man is hallucinating because his mind is being poisoned.
I'd say at the very least you could probably do like a head/face swap, right? To have it look like it's been chewed off or something. Maybe he comes with a crystal. That'd be fine.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting. Pipe is not the same mold as Huffer.
No, that was kind of a surprise, actually. Do you think they're going to use that mold for something else, or...?
I don't know, but he's very buff.
Yeah, not smushed either. Was he that buff in the OG cartoon? No, I can't remember. I don't think he was. No.
Not really, like... It's Pipes. No one cares about Pipes.
No, at the very least, give it to FansToys for not just going the cheap route and, like you say, going for a simple redo. Maybe they looked at it and they wanted more of the Pipes silhouette, which this definitely has achieved a lot more of.
Oh, yeah. But I just look at him, I just expect him to, like, every sentence starts with the word hench.
Oh, do you remember back in the day, like last year when they were doing the Booba or Boba challenge, where the anime girls would bounce the drink on their boobs?
Oh yeah,
he could do this as well. Yeah. He could do that challenge because he's got little shelf nipples.
He does. It's like in his case, it's more like actual like resting spots.
Yeah.
Which are accurate to the original. Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember his little shelf nipples.
No, the shelf nipples were there.
Are you a fan of them? I think they look weird.
I mean, they look weird. I'm not just looking at the old toy now. It looks weird there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's something we could probably remove. It's not like a massive detriment, obviously. It's just a thing you look at and you go, why is that there? Why can't they fold down or fold up?
Yeah, so if he can be an anime girl holding up coffee without using his hands.
What is boba?
What is boba?
No, that was
I would watch the book of boba
question.
much more, by the way.
No, that was a literal question.
The book of Boba Fett.
Because I hear that it's got these weird squishy sticky things at the bottom of it, the weird little ball things, and I was never quite sure what they were meant to be.
Oh, I don't know. But
oh, okay.
I also think if try this in real life, be very, very careful.
Oh, yeah.
I hope it's not hot.
See, I asked because you're more of a coffee or tea person than I am, since I don't do any.
I would not do it. I don't care how voluptuous my breasts were, I would not do it.
I thought you just meant the drink. Yeah, I wasn't suggesting you have to balance boba on your booba.
No, I'm sorry, Andy. I'm just like, I know I am luscious beyond all compare, but it's not happening.
Not even for the podcast. What about for the memes, Mikey?
Like, we do not get super chats or live donations or anything else, so no.
Oh, damn. One day maybe. He's not counting out. Not yet.
One day we'll start live podcasting on YouTube, and then people will want to see me naked.
Oh my god. Let us know if you want it. Us on YouTube, not Mikey naked,
Either one.
If you want Mikey naked, just send him a message to himself,
Yeah.
You know how to contact
you want
Mikey.
naked. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Mikey, do you want to take us on to the next bit of news?
Yeah, so Magic Square have revealed new Legend scaled figures and prototypes for MB31 Detective, which is Hound. I do not know why Hound is a detective. Ratchet, Mirage, and Skyjet Sky. We see Hound in a fair amount of detail, and it does look like a really squished down version of the cartoon model.
Yeah.
Looks like it's fairly well articulated. Ankle tilts are definitely in there, and overall that looks pretty solid. We also see it in color, and the colors do look good. Same with Ratchet. Ratchet's actually only partly in color, but he's fairly
what do you mean?
point.
How can you tell? He looks fully in color.
The bottom half of him isn't colored,
isn't it?
No, it's gray, not white.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. He's got like his pants and his chest are colored, but the arms are partially colored, but the legs aren't.
Are you sure they're not doing that? Because it doesn't look like the same kind of grey as the prototype. Are you sure they're not kind of doing that just to break up the solid white that Ratchet generally is?
No, God, no. Because remember, these are going to be G1. What actually looks like it is a primer.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, especially
remember when the character comes out and if it looks like this still. Andy was
if
right.
it looks like it's a covered in primer and it comes out, I'll people will probably have a few complaints. And yeah, Jetfire. I mean, they all look very simple, too accurate kind of takes them. They're not exciting to me in any regard, but
why do we keep going
Jetfire's
back to Skyfire?
Yeah, I find his shoulders very weird.
His face, his head generally looks a little bit on the large side as well. Size. I don't know. I've never been a massive fan of the Jetfire Skyfire, and we do get a lot of the Season 1 boys. I'd like calming down, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. My dream will never come true.
Yeah,
never.
And I just think there are better designs of the character as well. I'll be honest, I always thought his G1 design is one of the weaker ones.
Cartoon or toy, do you mean?
Cartoon, I like the toy. Like the toy, obviously, like the toy. The toy is like, hey, here's a Macross.
Yeah, but it's also like, he's a toy that will turn yellow and explode, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you didn't know that at the time.
No.
You didn't know that at the time.
I never saw it. I remember when I first saw it as coming back into the fandom, I was like, that's not Skyfire or Jetfire. What the fuck's that?
Yeah, who's he? And you're like, a Macross.
What's a Macross?
Gerwalk. I knew it hardly walked.
Are these German things or Japanese things? What's going on?
German walking? The hell?
Oh my god.
I don't think I paid any attention to Jetfire until the classics came out.
No.
And that was a fun toy. Very flawed, but fun.
Yeah, it's still not... Yeah, it got reused quite a few times as well. Got done into some decent versions of himself. One bad.
Yeah, it was good crack.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not a ton to say on any of these. They're just very simple prototypes that kind of look like you'd expect. Hound shoulders are very low.
Yes.
But that is kind of accurate, but it's also sometimes accuracy is bad.
Doesn't seem like he comes with boy rubbing hands and face, though.
That, you know what? If a version of Hound, like a masterpiece or something like that, yeah, an official masterpiece Hound, please come with a squeezable, like you can fill it with water and have awkward captions.
That's great.
Spike.
Yeah, so when you squeeze it, the little water comes out of his mouth. I love it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, if you want to make it easier for the sculpt, you make it so it's on a rock, so there's more like thing for it, like the rock, and then there's more water that can go into the rock, and he's sculpted
and
on
also
the rock.
The
I love
hands,
it. Yeah.
Like the hands that go on, they don't fit on quite right, which means they never look right from any angle, but from like a front side angle. So you can never look at him from behind and see what Hound's actually doing. You can only look at it from that angle.
That's right.
Also, there's a man's very big shirt in the back.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. These things are small.
Are they small, or is this a giant's house? Is it like that one episode where they're in space? Well, that weird bit in season 2 where they suddenly do a 3-episode arc. Where it's just like, oh, we need to come home. And we visited these 2 weird planets on the way home.
That could work.
Oh, man. What a weird time. Transformers is weird.
Yeah. Shall I tell you, Mikey, about Black Zarek? At least upgrades.
You can.
Well, I'm
not going to stop you.
Oh, good. Well, DNA Toys, DNA Designs, I should say, are doing the unsurprising slight. I think this is just a repaint of their previous kit for the Scorponok, right?
The spear is new.
Oh, you're probably right. Yes, the spear is probably new. Apart from, actually, I don't know. The spear comes with the toy.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. Spear comes with the toy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
this is.
Yeah, I think this is just a recolor. From the Scorponok one, so obviously this is, this comes with shield upgrade part, better scorpion legs, better thigh fillers, cankle fillers. You get better twistier guns for the shoulders. Lots and lots of bits just to upgrade him. It increases his height as well a little bit and just fills in a load of holes and gives him a lot more articulation and posability. I thought this was better when it was on Scorponok, and it still looks good here. And overall, definitely an improvement. Mikey, are you still fairly positive on this kit?
Oh yeah, no, I think it looks good, and I still would love to have Black Zarek.
Yeah, I've resigned myself to not getting either of them at this point.
I've just got no money at the moment, and
same.
I don't know. It might be a year or so before I have like the affordable cash, and by then there will be
double
other
to
things.
triple the price as well at that point.
Double to triple the price. There'll be other things that will have come out since. The bloody Miko Nendroid will have landed.
No, you might get lucky, Mikey. You'll probably get pushed back like 3 years or something. Because it's Nendroid.
I can fill in the gap with like the 15 model kits I mean to buy.
If it helps, you'll probably have the money then, so that's good.
I won't after I have to buy all that. But no, I think it looks good, and like I think the Black Zarek looks great, but it does improve it. It does add those little bits to it. Like the worst thing in there is the gun to me, and that's only because like I always think that gun looks dumb.
I think it would have been nice to redo the gun to make it into something a little bit different for Black Zarek. Yeah. It's not a massive thing, I get it. It's a repaint of everything. We could have had a different gun just to make it a little different. That would have been nice.
I would have given him something that can like slot onto the top of the claws. Because like I think of Black Zarek as a melee fighter. I would never think of him as using a gun.
Would you give him like claws for his claws, like Wolverine claws for his crab claws?
Or like gauntlets or something like that, you know, like, or like you can swap it out for like gauntlet hands, or like you cover him and it looks like fists.
If you want to give him something dumb, like give him 2 giant nunchucks.
Yeah, absolutely, something dumb, something just silly.
There was another upgrade kit for Black Zarek as well. This time from Shockwave Labs. They're doing the SL-123 and the 124, not the 1234. So the 123 are kind of, at least in my opinion, and as they've been, I think, before on the show, kind of dull ones. They're the lights, a pair of LED lights that can be placed in Black Zarek's claws, which also work for the alternative twin-headed serpent form.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the
Hydra mode, I think it was called.
Is that what it was? Did it have an official name? I can't remember.
Yeah. It had an official name. I think it was Hydra, but I'm going to double check that.
All right.
Because I like the one that I loved when people were going like, "Can the toy do that?" It's like, yes. all Scorponok toys can do that.
Because it was
Even
a terrible
Beast
mode.
Wars Scorponok toy can do that.
Because it was a terrible mode, bless it. The 124 is basically a one-item deal. It is a tail. Longer, thinner, fully articulated new tail for Black Zarek, which looks closer to his animation design. It's not about the girth, it's about the length, everybody. I don't actually remember him having a really long, slender tail, but I'm sure it did. I don't disbelieve them.
I'm honestly not 100% sure.
I'm sure they're not lying. I'm sure it's true, to be fair. What do you think of his long, slender tail?
Oh, I think it looks good.
Do you think it looks better? Because for me, I wouldn't care enough about either of these two. And neither, I really care about the LEDs, and I don't care about the tail.
I think it's neat, but I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
And also, it's not that, the cartoon model for Black Zarek was pretty on point to the toy. So, I'm afraid the making it skinnier is just not that big deal for me. I think it looks better, but it's not more accurate either. That's someone who doesn't remember anything about the show. Also, it was a Daikatsu mode.
Oh, is that the official term?
Which translates into serpent and scorpion.
Alright, well, I guess they were right. It was serpent mode.
Yeah, but Daikatsu.
It is a Hydra, but never mind.
Yeah. I just can't say, that kid excites me. I think the first one's much better. Yeah,
it's a significant upgrade. This one's like a horizontal upgrade. It's not really better or worse. It's just, it's a little different. So if that's what you prefer, and you like your lights, there you go. That can do, I suppose. Mikey, what's up next? I think the most annoying thing I will say about this next story is there's only one picture of something I care about in this, unfortunately.
Yeah, and why is there also I hate the prototype plastic.
These guys. Yeah, it's like translucent-y, greeny cream. Ugh.
But Fans Hobby have revealed prototypes for Armada Overload, who is repainted into Energon Ultra Magnus. He was in the show. He was basically like a little drone thing that became cannons on Super Mode. Optimus Prime. And MB21 Armada Tidal Wave, which is much more interesting. And basically, we see them next to the leaders. For Fans Hobbies goes at the other two Armada boys. Overload's going to be big. He's going to be chunky. He's going to look a bit crap because the toy and the design itself looks a bit crap. No one likes it. And this is one of those designs you buy because someone wants to do the full display, I think. I want to have Super Mode Optimus with all the gear he had in the show. This is not something you buy because, wow, Overload, my favorite character. It's you don't buy God Bomber because you like God Bomber.
I mean, you might. I don't think you do.
No human on Earth who says that is telling you the truth. They like that he becomes God. He goes on to Jinrai and makes God Jinrai.
What if they say they might like him just purely on his visual aesthetic? They're Boba Fett.
Because he's got a boring visual aesthetic.
I don't know. Some people like boring things. Look at people who like the new Star Wars movies or the Mandalorian.
Yeah, they have a visual. Films. They all have visual aesthetics that appeal to someone. But they're
there
also,
you go. Some people might be into that.
None of them are Armada Overload, who is a brick with a brick and a brick and a brick.
I would definitely agree that out of God Bomber and Overload, Overload is the loser in the fight.
Oh god, yeah.
He's really boring.
Yeah. We also have Tidal Wave, who everyone gives a shit about because Tidal Wave's amazing. It's one of the most underrated designs you've ever had in Transformers, in my opinion.
And has barely ever been touched on after one thing. We've had bulkheads, we've had... there
was that time he was a whale.
Oh.
And he was really upset about everyone climbing inside him.
Yeah, that was about it. No other time.
Nick Roach is a twisted fuck. But yes, presumably these will both obviously break down and combine with their respective baddies.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think there's enough to comment on in terms of the I can tell you they've clearly slimmed down Tidal Wave's design.
I guess that makes sense because they want to have him hanging off of the Megatron, so he's going to have to be a little bit slender because otherwise that's going to be put. It was always an issue with that combined form with Armada Megatron. It was just these three. What was it? the two arm parts were too big for his arms to hold on to. You could never get them to stay up. They would just like slump down by his sides.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with them changing it. To be fair, I never liked the combined mode. Tidal Wave on its own was great. I didn't think...
Tidal Wave is almost a playset on its own.
Yeah, well, he was 3 vehicles in one, and each of them did a thing, like you say.
I hope he comes with the... I hope he retains those features, like...
Same.
Those little bit of play, but yeah,
I can't imagine they'd have him not split apart. Because that was a key feature.
Each vehicle had like a little gimmick or something like that, and I would like it if they included them because they were some of the most non-obtrusive gimmicks of the time.
Yeah.
And were actually like decent. But
I think if you look at the arm on the right-hand side of him, it looks like there is a groove in there, which is where the little plane minicon would come up out of the deck. So maybe they are going for it, but like you say, it's hard to tell with these kind of poopy images at the moment. He's got better nipple guns though, at least, because the original toys nipple guns were kind of meh. They were very stunted nipples. These ones are a bit more lengthy.
They were also gimmick thing because like you rotated minicon and it went beep boop.
I just mean in terms of length. They were little nubs. These ones are fully erect.
And he likes hard pointy nipple guns.
I like them to be longer than my finger.
Which finger?
I'll leave that to your imagination.
All of them lined up.
Oh, if they want to be really boring as well, they can redo Overload into Ultra Magnus from Energon.
Oh, they definitely will. Like,
if they want to be really cool, though, they could redo Tidal Wave into Energon Tidal Wave.
Yeah, no, that'd be good. But also, I want them to repaint Optimus into the end of the series Optimus, who was in black and was actually a really good color scheme.
Yeah,
where
he had, did he have the red faceplate as well?
Yeah, for some god-awful reason, they've never used it again.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I think we've got enough repaints of Prime Mikey.
Yeah, but like at least it's something else.
Yeah, but that's not how it would work. What would be all the Optimus repaints and then this one as well. And it's like, we don't need that. Here's what question will Tidal Wave be done, do you think? Will he be done in the game colors, i.e. the toy colors, or will he be done in the cartoon colors? Because I think it'll probably be the cartoon, which is okay.
I would expect the cartoon. I would rather have the cartoon colors. I think would be good. I don't know if I'd want him necessarily in the toy colors, just because they're quite sharp for his look.
They were garish with his little green hair and whatnot. It was good, though.
Translated well into the Energon colors.
Oh, damn. Yeah, like, even if it's just translucent plastic they give him, I'd still be on board. Still be on board, because that was such a cool color scheme. White with translucent green and golden lightning bolts. That was fucking sick. What a good color scheme. That's the only color scheme I think that I can remember in recent memory that I would describe as that's a G2 color scheme, and it wasn't in G2.
No, yeah, that's fair.
It's fucking ace. Love it. Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss indeed.
Shall I take us on, Mikey?
Yes.
You mentioned a Nendroid Miko. Well, what if I was to bring you the Lord of the Decepticons to bring down Miko?
That's ours.
No,
he doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah, but
she will. What will happen is she will like not successfully do anything, and in the process destroy his entire life. As she like tries to kill him, tries to snipe him or something, misses, and then just as he turns around, she's randomly on fire, and no one knows why. And she's just falling onto him like a comet from upon the sky. And that
Miko's greatest weapon is fire. Miko's greatest downfall is also fire.
Yeah, and you could even add a bit of narrative to it as she's falling, like as a comet, and just like little blue hair pops up on top of her.
Oh my
god!
And
slowly rises, and it's Suisei, and then Megatron's fucked.
Oh my god! Danger.
She'll eat him.
We
were talking about cannibals earlier on today. She'll eat him.
That's true. Yeah. The Nendroid Megatron has been announced. The pre-orders are going to be on the 7th, so it's up now till February the 7th. If it hasn't already sold out. But I don't know if this one would sell out as quickly as the other anime goes. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It is Megatron. He has, I think, only 2 faces. Stoic face and Screamy face. He has kind of general Nendroid articulation. Maybe a little bit more. because he's got elbows and he's got knees, so I guess technically he's got a little bit more than a standard Nendroid, right?
Yeah.
Because usually they don't have movable legs.
They do, usually it's swap out the legs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these aren't swappable. These are fully articulated. Well...
Yeah, well, there's
minorly
there's definitely more articulation. That's kind of the problem with them, to be honest.
Mm.
The whole...
I mean, like you said before we started the podcast, he does not look like an android.
No, he really
doesn't look bad though. I wouldn't say it looks bad. It just doesn't fit the general aesthetic.
Have you seen a chibi Megatron before?
Yeah, it's another one.
Yeah, here's number 400.
I guess the nice thing is he would be compatible with all of the heads from any of the other Nendroids. So
yeah, if you wanted to make like an armored version of like
any of the girls.
What's her name? Ganko.
Oh yeah.
And put her crazy face on there.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun.
Oh, I don't know if the actual girl faces would go onto the Megatron head. I just
Depends
mean
on the neck.
Yeah, if you just take the head off, you could swap the heads
that's
around.
What I'm thinking.
Okay, sorry, I thought you meant like take off Megatron's face and swap it around with one of the girls. I don't think that would work.
No.
Which is a shame, because that would also be pretty cool if you could swap out just the faces, but yeah, that won't work. There's a few shots, little hit, Chibi Prime punching Megatron going,
I just, nothing about this feels to me like it's like got, like I would have just like gone really crazy, change their design a lot, smooth them out, make it look just a bit dumber. Or like, if you wanted to just use the existing molds, you're like, what if we took one of our existing girl molds and gave her new clothes and made her into Megatron?
We've seen it before, that kind of thing,
Empress.
yeah.
Then she could be Mega Empress. But yeah, it's fine. I'm not interested. If I wanted the chibi Megatron, there's other options I think look a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of cool.
I'm sure there's probably going to be accessories coming with it, surely, because we don't really see anything. He has to come with at least the mace, because that's like the bog standard stuff. It
would definitely be strange if a Nendroid, forget about Megatron, but just a Nendroid didn't come with some gear.
Definitely.
Especially one like this, which is probably cost a bit more and doesn't have the normal options.
Yeah, even though, Nendroids are usually limited, but like you say, it would be weird if there was just nothing else to it. So I guess those will be shown, if they haven't been shown now, if they haven't been shown now, maybe he's not coming with anything extra.
Don't know.
No, I don't know. Anyway, do you want to take us on, Mikey? I'm going to have a look. See if I can find him.
Andy will do research!
Yeah.
Takara Tomy Transformers MPG Collection, Masterpiece Gatai. Masterpiece Trainbot Getsue. We have our first images. Getsue is one of the flat-nosed train cars. He will turn into a foot and presumably be retooled into the other foot because the 2 feet are mostly identical. These are not good pictures. We do get to see a decent shot of the actual train, and it looks decent. It's got like the actual connectors for the power lines, which is a nice touch. The robot mode is just not very clear because it's one of those small images where official reveal date is on it as well, like 1/13, so we might have something next week. But yeah, I'm curious. The Shoki looked decent, but had some clear plastic stuff that made me a little concerned. And I'll this is going to be a very expensive toy line. So Andy, do you have any thoughts on Getsui, Man Who Is Foot?
Let me just mention, I have checked on HLJ. An angry faceplate is included as an optional part. Enjoy creating poses of Megatron battling the Autobots and commanding the Decepticon forces. There are no other items listed.
Wow.
He comes with a few hands. By that I mean like open hands. The extra face and a stand. And the fusion cannon. And that's it. So, yes, that's really bad.
That's quite low for an Nendroid.
Yeah. How much are Nendroids usually? Because he's 4,900 yen.
Usually you'd be looking at 4,000 yen. Before you started adding on, import prices.
Sure.
Like
Yeah. So he's the standard price, and he comes with nothing.
Much? Well, he's the standard price, but he's coming with less.
Yeah, that's why I said he's coming with nothing.
Yeah, that's weird.
It is.
I don't like it.
No. Even less value for money than we assumed at first, but okay, fair enough. What do I think of Foot? He seems like a foot. Seems like he turns from a train to a foot. He's one of the cool old kind of trains, which is nice. It's a shame we don't have better quality pictures, but even then, I don't think it would be a super exciting thing, because none of the train bots desperately have exciting designs. They go, as we've said before, they make an exciting combined form, which is riding, and each of them individually is kind of, But it looks okay. Looks fine. I can dance with him, One foot down, one to go.
You can leave your friends behind.
Here we are.
Friends don't dance, and they're no friends of mine.
Do you want to do another Masterpiece one, or do you want me to do it?
I'll do it, but want is a bit of a stretch.
Well,
this got so many people angry. I found it so funny.
Okay, then you have to tell me about it, because I don't know about that.
So, we have new images and updated details on the Masterpiece 52 Starscream 2.0 Coronation Parts campaign. Now, if you remember, people of the internet, these were announced before, and it was confirmed that these would not be available to everyone. These are the coronation parts, they're the shoulder pads, the crown, and the cape. Now, in order to get them, you had to, 1, live in Japan.
Oh my god.
2, buy all 3 seekers.
Ooh.
And 3, take a small flap from inside the box and mail it to Takara Tomy before February 28, and they will send you.
Oh my god, that's so old school. Like, you have to take out a little tab and send it to them through the post.
Yeah.
Oh, come on,
And
Japan.
you will receive coronation parts, and only valid, has to be before February 28. So, the difference is, it was being done here. You'd get now, send us proof of purchase, we'll send you an NFT, and you can wait. But if you don't send it between 10 and 11 on February 28, and we're not going to tell you which time zone, then you won't get it. But you'll have a lovely MST, the most valuable things on Earth.
See, I thought you were going to say something like a QR code, which I also would have nodded and gone, yes, that's another useless thing that they would make you do. Useless for me, because I wouldn't be able to do it, but yeah. Okay.
Also, random thing, there are only 400 NFTs that are owned in the world.
Is that because they're so
400,000.
good?
Sorry. There's only 400,000 people out of 7 billion who own an NFT.
That's because they know when to get in on the market, Mikey. They know
200 of those
get it cool.
Think about it. 200 of those are people who bought a Power Rangers toy. And if they missed it, if they missed that really tight deadline, then there are 200 people who missed out on buying, or they're people who missed out on buying it. I saw a number compared to hey, you know, Andy, how the PS5 is fucking legendary and it's not real?
Some people have got it, apparently.
No, they don't, Andy. They tell you that on the internet.
No, I've seen VTubers
like finding
get
Bigfoot.
them.
That's not real, Andy. It's like before the Revice driver came out, I saw people saying I have the Revice driver on YouTube. And it's that seems to be made out of cardboard, sir.
I think I know someone who got one as well, but I can't remember who they are.
I know one person. And he bragged for so long, and
wait.
I wanted to strangle him.
Did George get one?
I don't
remember.
But basically, there are 5 million of those that have been sold.
Oh, PlayStations. Okay, I was NFTs?
I think that's fascinating difference. Just NFTs, they're the coolest thing. Everyone has them. It's just no, they don't. Hardly anyone has them. PlayStation 5, it's like hen's teeth. 5 million of them have been sold.
Well, to be fair, when you're trying to get people to buy garbage like loot boxes, you tell people how cool they are.
Oh, NFTs are the loot crate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not loot boxes.
I meant loot crate. Sorry, yes.
But I think weirdly loot crate is better.
Well,
better analogy there.
You get actually something physical. It's trash and it's garbage quality, but it's something you actually held in your hand.
Yeah, but I think it's more the marketing side of it. That loot crate, no one markets loot boxes anymore. They just say oh my god, this new skin is out. Go buy this, and it's just that's it. You don't hear that. You just count on gambling addiction. Mm-hmm. Loot Crate, they were trying to convince you there was something special about it. It was all really seedy. And then it got on to when they partnered up with NECA. And part of their advertising was did you know that if you buy this loot box, in 4 months' time, your investment will have increased by 12%. You can sell these NECA exclusive Teenage Mutant Turtle toys.
Ew.
That's NFT talk.
I forgot they did that. It was gross. But you're right, that is what they did. Yeah, that's what I mentioned.
But yeah, so
sometimes.
Cool. If anyone wants those, please, if you want them, basically, go to Japan or meet someone in Japan or have a Japanese shipping address. And if you are Japanese and you have these, lord them over your international friends.
I guess, but to be fair, you mean the NFTs or do you mean the cool, I would say it's that cool, to be honest. And I've never been a big fan of the coronation thing. I'm sure I've said it the last time this kind of thing happened. It's like every time this stupid coronation set comes up, I'm like, why is this so important? It's for a very small scene in the film, and I can't believe a huge amount of people. Maybe there are a lot of people that display Starscream like this, but I think Starscream generally looks worse displayed like this.
I think I like the look, but I just don't think they like. The thing is, what I would want is a Starscream designed around this, not this designed around Starscream.
That would be interesting. So you'd have your Starscream transform into the coronation version. That could be interesting.
Yeah, and I would you'd need to slim down his proportions. Maybe a soft goods cape, a better fitting crown, a head designed to have a crown that fits it.
Yes, or just a head that has the crown on it, so you didn't need to worry about that boo-boo.
I would definitely go soft good cape, and it's just when you transform and you just stick the cape on, boom, it looks better and it's more fun. But I saw a model kit that had soft good capes, and I was the Figure Eight Standard Gallantmon, the new one that's coming out.
Is it actually a material cape, or is it okay,
soft good? Not like the Gundam crossbone high grade cape. Actually, cloth cape. That was terrible. That was crinkle. Take this paper. Yeah, squish it. You have now made a cape.
Yeah, LBX did that as well, but I didn't. Mine weren't too bad when I made my paper capes, but the fact that it is a paper cape is still kind of a.
I think that Master Grade even did the paper cape.
Did it? No. I think for the crossbones. No, I'm pretty sure the Master Grade did this weird really plasticky bin liner looking kind of black material. But I know one of the crossbones had a crappy kind of material, but I can't remember which one it was.
Sadly, the best looking cape for crossbone was the hard plastic one for the real grade.
Yeah. Usually it's just because they're sculpted, so they look nice. Because all the other material ones just kind of look cheap and thin, and they never sit right. Yeah. Yeah. Shall we move on, Mikey? Right then. So I will take you on, Mikey, and let you know. I know you're really invested in this. Kingdom Wave 5 is now out in the UK.
Woo!
I can't remember which one Wave 5 was, but it had Pipe in, apparently. It maybe had RC in, and I don't know if it had anybody else.
Screw her. No offense to her as an individual, but screw her.
I thought you meant Corone, because you said Pipe, and then you said screw her, and I was like, hang on.
What kind of world are you living in, you sick bastard?
You said Pipe, I said Pipe, and you said screw her, and I was like,
that just says so much about the associations you make in your head.
Wow. Thanks, Mikey.
Why don't you just say, here's a literal puppy, let's kick it.
She'd be too violent, though.
No, you kick her, she boxes in real life, so you're dead.
That's fine. I'm not alive
you
anyway.
You are fucking dead.
I may as well do this story as well, because the previous one was kind of short. Transformers Rise of the Beast. We've got some toy line listings with gimmicks and character names reveals.
For a movie that's not out for another... hang on.
While. Not for a while.
I just saw the release date on these. What?
Yeah. Yeah, the release date is apparently the 1st of April, 2022. I don't think the movie's coming out then. So it might be one of those, what was it, Shang-Chi? Because it happened to Shang-Chi as well, and all those toys were fucking destroyed. And by destroyed, I mean they went on sale very, very quickly before the movie even came out. So that was a bad sign. I don't know why. Also, when I say these names, take into account that even if they are in the movie, they may have nothing to do with the movie. I.e., there might be background characters, or there might be like wreckage from the first Transformers movie, aka not there at all.
Oh, don't make me sad.
Yeah. Okay, so let me go through the gimmick names. We have the Beast Battle Masters. Optimus Primal, Cheetor, Crescent, Airraiser, and Rhinox.
Can we pause at Crescent for a second?
Yes.
Mostly because... Okay, Crescent, obviously a new name. But known as Crescent, we speculate this might be a skunk.
Why?
I was about to ask, did I miss something?
Because I hear Crescent, I think Moon, like a crazy person.
Is it like the way they hold their tails, or...
No, Mikey, you
Do you
idiot.
think they said Pepe?
Crescent are a special type of skunk. You should know this. You idiot.
Luna. Well, I mean, no, I can't make it. I can't make it work.
No, me neither.
Also, I just wanted to be a honey badger, Predacon honey badger.
That's the hope.
That's the main bad guy. Crescent is the villain at the end of the thing, and it's a Predacon honey badger. It never transforms.
No, it doesn't have to. It's a honey badger. It'll kill you. Yeah.
They shoot it, and like a laser bounces off its hide, and I'm just like, oh no.
It's got shielding. That's why it's a honey badger. There's also Beast Mode Bumblebee. Wonder what that might be. Power Combiners. A 2-pack Optimus Primal. It doesn't say who's 2-packed with, but...
Yeah. I'm presuming these are like the little, like, stick them, like, ram them together and they make a guy.
Yeah, that we got from... Was it Cyberverse that last did that?
Yeah. Which is, like, Slug and Megatron combined.
Oh, God, that's right.
Not in this
series
at all. You know, he ain't in this season, but sure.
Weird. 2-pack Bumblebee. I assume, like, you might be able to just kind of push these two together, so Prime and Bumblebee maybe together. I don't know. It's just a guess.
What if it's like a 2-pack where you combine two vehicles into Prime?
That might be a thing as well. Yeah, to be fair, that could be a thing. 2-pack Wheeljack, 2-pack Scourge, 2-pack RC, and 2-pack Optimus Primal. Then there's the Power Alliance. I want 2 cars
that come together to just make a gorilla.
That'd be
just an organic gorilla.
The Power Alliance, which are the apparently weaponizers. We got 2-pack. This might be how.
Oh, do you know what the 2-pack might be?
How many go into a case?
Yeah.
I just thought that as well as soon as I started reading it. Yeah. 2-pack Optimus Prime, Optimus Primal, RC, and Wheeljack. Smash Chaser, Optimus Prime. You know, when he's on the prowl for puss, as Prime does. Well, you know, there was Jack's mom in Prime, to be fair.
Primal wasn't in Prime.
No, Prime. This is Optimus Prime who's a Smash Chaser.
Oh, that's not better.
Yeah, but he was after June. It was June, wasn't it?
Yeah,
June.
no.
Mom Smasher. No, June came on to Prime first. She started this race. She wanted Prime. He was the leader.
She yelled at him like a same episode, though.
Yeah, because, you know, she wanted to test him. It was one of the tests. See if Prime would
fail?
Fight back. I don't know.
He didn't actually. He just sort of like put his head down and looked sad.
No, he didn't fail because the next time June was at the base, she was like, "Oh, is Optimus here?" Like, no, she's not here. He's not here, you thirsty girl. Get the fuck out of here. Goddamn.
Then she got together with Fowler.
Yeah, Fowler was the consolation prize.
You be nice to Fowler.
I couldn't have the big, strong, sexy robot. I'll settle with you.
He was a Ghostbuster.
He wasn't a giant robot from space, though.
Oh no! It all ties into Transformers vs. Ghostbuster comic. Like, after being a Ghostbuster, he changed his name. Like, meeting Transformers changed his perspective after meeting Ectotron. He then went out and he changed his name and joined, like, the CIA. That's what happened.
Oh my god. Yep. Welcome to Mikey's /fiction writing.
Transformers Prime is in continuity with Transformers vs. Ghostbusters. You can't prove me wrong.
There's also battle changes. Bumblebee, Mirage, and Rhinox. There's Power Step, aka the one-step simple step Transformers, which is, of course, Bumblebee and Prime. The Spark Races, which sound like the things that we got back in, like, the 90s, where they'd have the bit of flint inside them. Maybe they're not that, but...
No, I don't think they make those anymore.
Who knows? We don't have who's in the set, but they're going to be $4.99. The Spark Chasers, different from the Racers. How? I don't know. But they're going to be $14.99. The Roleplay Basic Mask Assortment, which will probably, I think, be B, Prime, and maybe Primal, I'd a guess. But it doesn't say here. Core Boys Deluxe Class. I don't feel comfortable saying that. Nope. I feel like I've been put on a list just reading that out loud. Don't feel happy about that. We'll move on.
Andy, hang on. Andy, what's your interest in the Core Boys Deluxe class?
Low to zero. Mainly zero. Mainly zero.
The worst thing is, it gets worse, because I'm in Ireland, and all I'm thinking about is the mid-90s, where that would be converted to Choir Boys Deluxe class.
Oh,
like,
no.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. And before someone says that's a tasteless joke, I grew up in the middle of fucking Ireland in the 90s, where all hell was breaking loose in regard to that kind of shit. If we didn't joke about it, and we all made the stupid fucking jokes, we would have gone insane.
Yay!
So don't come at me because it's a coping mechanism. Because bad shit went down if you didn't know.
Yeah. And there's the 2-in-1 masked Bumblebee. So it's going to be a transforming Bumblebee mask. Fun times.
It turns into a car around your head.
Oh my god, squishes your brains out.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Can't take your head out.
There's more on the Transformers Rise of the Beast toy line, so I may as well hop onto this as well. First up, there's a breakdown of the deluxe class toys. The product name TRA, new word, MV7, new word, Core Boy Deluxe Class. We're back. So I guess I
think I get what Core Boy.
Yeah, so Core Boy is, I assume, the core demographic, which is the deluxe class figure. I don't know why you do this, but here we go.
I also think, like, in this day and age, writing Core Boy for any toy line is asking for trouble.
It seems weird. Hey ho, we're not in business, so what do we know?
Yeah, but...
So, there's a Deluxe Bumblebee with the code name of George. I don't know what these...
George. Do you get an action figure of exaggerated LFG?
I have no idea why they have these code... This must be how they're listed on the website. They gave us these names for
it's like
reason.
Early on they got like reference names before they licensed them or anything else, so they need to know who's going to be wearing it if they haven't got them licensed.
It's just weird to put them in the story as well. Maybe they're putting them in the story as a reference
for
proof.
I know a previous story had like, here's a list of all the toys, and but they were like code names.
Right.
So this might be, hey, do you want to go back 6 months and compare?
Yeah, like I say, a bit of evidence and whatnot.
I don't.
There's Deluxe Mirage, which is codenamed Pluto. Deluxe Wheeljack, which is Barcelona. Air Razor, which is Titan. Nightbird, which is Outlaw.
Star.
Power Alliance. Product name TRA MV7 New Transformation 15 Ast. Other names are the weaponizers. So it's the weaponizer name. They're going to be 5 inches tall, $14.99 or €20. Apparently,
fuck off. Let's do a quick conversion.
Please.
US.
These are $2 packs though, so it's fine.
15.
There's no pound conversion, so I would hope it would be like US price, but it would probably be more like 20. I'm guessing. I want to hear Mikey's annoyance when he sees how much it is. How much more it is.
$13.20.
Sorry?
In Irish money, the American price is €13.20.
Wow, they do buff it up then.
Just a tad.
How much is $20.99 in dollars then?
Do you want? Oh yeah, $20.99. €29 to Allah.
Yeah.
$23.83.
Wow. So it's $23 for the
We are
Europeans.
The Australia of the Northern Hemisphere.
So how much is it going to cost for the Australians? That's the question.
Well, they will have to present one adult child and one newborn child. Whichever one is considered to have the most generic security will be taken in exchange for a Power Alliance weaponizer toy.
That's only that one, though. There's more. There's more. And let me just tell you, all the prices are higher in euros. All of them.
Yeah.
So
you go to hell. You go to hell and you die.
Power Battlers, they're going to be 3 inches tall. $5.99 US, $10.99 for American. It's unclear if this listing is also known as the Beast Battle Masters, apparently.
These are gimmick toys as well. It's making it worse.
Yeah, because the gimmick toys usually aren't the best. Power Combiners, they are going to be 5 inches tall. Let's just round it up. $20 US, €30. They're going to be 2 packs. The next one are the Power Step. They're going to be 3 inches tall. $10 US, 16 European dollars. These seem to be 2 assortments per product for this product. Okay. And the Smash Changes, no American price. But these are going to be 41 euros. 41 euros, so expensive. So it's probably going to be like $21, maybe. But that's a guess. Anything that sticks out in your mind there, or that names that I've thrown out apart from Crescent the Skunk, apparently?
The presumed skunk.
The presumed skunk.
For some reason. No, I'm good. These are looking to be normal gimmick toy lines.
Are you not looking forward to Rise of the Beast, the next hit toy series? And
I mean, I'm going to be very curious about when it comes out, because if it comes out this year, that'll be a bit of an interesting thing.
the word concerning, since we haven't seen a trailer for it, any kind of trailer.
Yeah, well, like, the movie got pushed back a year. That's the thing. Like,
That's
it didn't
true.
just get pushed back. It got pushed back a year, but it got pushed back on pretty short notice. So it's very clear to me that these toys are out there sitting in a warehouse somewhere.
Do we know if it's one of these things where they extended production, but they kept working on it? Like, some of the Marvel movies have clearly been... Some movies were working during COVID, and some movies weren't.
It's possible, but, like, it's a bit weird that it happened when it did, just because, like, using an example, Jurassic World Dominion, it was supposed to be out last year, and they pushed it back a year because of COVID. But now they've like, okay, COVID is not being factored into our releases right now. Or at least, like, it's not being factored into our scheduling right now. It's coming out here, the movie's finished, I can confirm the movie's finished. It's filmed, it's finished, it's done, go home. I thought, when it got pushed back, I wasn't super shocked. When it got pushed back a whole year, that says to me either something went wrong and they're trying to fix it, or they saw who they were up against on the markets for the rest of the year and said, like, no, if we come out in 2023, we've got a better shot than if we come out in 2022.
Yeah.
Which, maybe they're, like, refilming that has to be done. Maybe, like, Lorenzo convinced them they need to tie it into the Bayverse, and they're refilming a bunch of shots. But, I don't know. I'm hoping it's nothing too negative, but, like, the press release for the film did such a good job of, like, pulling the rug out from under it. So they're like, hey, do you know everything you liked about Bumblebee? What if we made it more like the other movies? Oh, you don't have to. We do.
I actually rewatched Bumblebee over the Christmas period because it was on TV. I was like, I wasn't as happy to rewatch it again as I was watching it. I was like, yeah, it's fine.
The thing is, you're saying it's fine. Now rewatch the Bayverse.
No. Yeah, because Revenge of the Fallen was on last night on some channel. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah.
Every time they come on, my family says, like, oh, Mike, I suppose you want to make us watch this. And I'm just like, no!
Fuck you.
Why do you keep saying this to me?
Do they look at you and go, I bet you want to watch this movie, don't you? Because it's Transformers. You want to watch this shit? No, I don't want to watch it.
It's falling. He's falling.
Jesus.
So, obviously, the one that interests you and I the most is the Core Boy Deluxe class, but...
Please, let's never call it that class again.
I want it on the package. I want it to be the Core Boy Deluxe class on the package.
Do you think they'd have that in the adverts? Buy the Core Boy Deluxe class.
Well, advertised by this young man, aged 7 to 9.
Yep.
Look at him smile. We told him to smile.
We paid him money. He hates us, but he's got money. Haha. Mikey, take us on. Take us on to the next bit of news. No Core Boys.
We're going to hell. So, possible, as in it is literally a first look at the Studio Series Core Class.
Yay!
Core Class.
A real name.
Could be Core Boy Class. Well, in this case, it is Core Boy Class. Or Core Class Boy. Exosuit Spike Wiki. So, this is the Studio Series Spike Wiki figure. He is a tiny man in a white robot mecha suit that turns into a weird dune buggy. Or a space rover that I don't... No, he did turn into something in the movie, but I don't think it looked anything like that.
It's kind of an approximation of what it turned into, to be fair.
I don't remember what it looked like really well. I just remember that it was a scene where,
to be fair, it did turn into something like that. You didn't see it from a lot of angles, to be honest, but that's kind of an approximation of, what it turned into, to be honest.
Yeah. I remember there was just one scene where, like, Daniel's driving at the camera next to... Was it Blur or RC?
It was something. There's also when he first transforms and he again drives at the camera and knocks over the Decepticons. Oh my god. What?
Oh.
What do you see?
Oh, bless you, headmasters.
Oh.
Bless you.
No?
Bless your
do?
cotton socks.
What they do?
Hang on, you'll see.
I fear.
Why doesn't it look like this?
Oh no. To be fair, it's kind of what it looks like.
He's going
It's to be fair, it's a movie. Sorry, it's a TV budget version of what the movie did.
I know, but that's better.
I like the fact it's flying through space for some reason. Looks a lot roomier as well.
He's got little hand. It's better because like in the toy, he's like, "Hey, transform, stare at the ground."
Yeah,
stare at it. Whereas here it's like, "I've got little driving handles." Oh no, I want this. I want that one. Give me that.
You're gonna have to make your own if you want that one. I'm afraid, Mikey.
It looks like it should be in the fucking Jetsons. Oh, dearie me. But yeah, so this is basically, hey, did you watch the movie? This is Spike in the movie. Presumably there'd be like a repackage or a slight retool to turn him into Daniel.
It'd be such a lame redo though, because it's only like the only thing that's going to change is the head's going to be a little bit different. And even then, when you look at them from a distance, they're going to look exactly the same.
This is the third time someone's made this toy.
What do you mean? You mean attempted to make it?
No, official. We've had official releases of Exosuit Daniel / Spike, and this is the third time.
Oh yeah, because we had the one that came with Slug. No, Grimlock. Or was that
no? I mean, like transforming. There's the one that came with the Masterpiece Bumblebee.
Oh, I didn't even think about the masterpieces. Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and then that got repainted into a much shitter looking version, which was Daniel.
Okay.
And then you've got the little squatting Daniel who's taking a poop. But that Daniel, Spike's head looked up, but also Spike's head looked like Daniel's. Too many. Basically, this is a toy of something that no one actually liked.
Hooray!
I kid. I'm sure someone is very, very excited about the idea of having Spike with Wiki driving face down. But I don't think the alt mode looks very good. I think the robot mode looks actually.
To be fair, the vehicle mode was never very good.
No,
clearly,
but no, it was fantastic, Andy. You saw the picture.
You got me.
It's the greatest alt mode of all time. I like the robot mode fairly well. I mean, I kind of wish, like, just because I don't care about Daniel or Spike, if I'm honest, like make the helmet opaque and then just repaint the chest a bit to make it a face. And I'd be like into it as like this weird little big-eyed robot face head guy.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. But no, I think he looks fine. I mean, I'm not excited or anything. You?
Not particularly. I mean, it doesn't make me hyped to get back into picking up some new Transformers, that's for sure. But then again, Daniel never would. Or Spike, sorry. Either way. They're the same.
Apart from that time they murdered Spike and turned him into a robot.
Good times. Do you want to do the next story as well? Because that one's
I'll get this away. Rumors. Hasbro will not attend TF Toy Fair in New York 2022.
Is that because the Toy Fair's not on, or is that just because they're not going to go? Or
just
both?
Says next, according to New York Post, due to ongoing pandemic concerns.
I would imagine then that the Toy Fair probably isn't going to be on then, more so than they're just pulling out.
I would say, like, just make it digital, like, at the moment, would make more sense.
I mean, I think it was a bit silly to think that the things would be back to normal by this year. Maybe next year. Next year. I don't think it's too silly to think next year's hopefully when conventions will start get rolling, or by the end of this year, maybe. So
yeah, and, like, as long as, like, COVID doesn't mutate again and, like, grows arms.
Uh-huh.
And, like, moves into your house and starts drinking your tea. I say this like it's not probable, but it will.
Sure.
It will.
All right. Shall I take us on to the last story then, Mikey? Last two stories.
COVID in bed with your girlfriend.
Oh my god. Okay, so 4 Transformers shows are leaving Netflix this year. Prime, Robots in Disguise, Rescue Bot, and Rescue Bots Academy. So if you wanted to watch them, fuck you, basically. Unless you've got maybe a VPN and they're on the other networks, but maybe that's not even the case. I don't know.
Don't know how it relates to, like, our part of the world. Or...
Maybe they're pulling them from everything, if they were even on our ones. This is why I like physical media more.
Prime Season 1 and 2 is on ours.
Okay.
But I don't know how.
Oh, yeah, but to be fair, they're leaving on February, or by February, so they would still be on ours at this point.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know how that's going to play out versus US, because US has different licensing stuff.
Yeah, like I say, it might be one of those things where they just pull everything. It's all Transformers. So, but like I say, this is why I prefer physical media, because it means, hey, if I wanted to watch Transformers after February, I was like, oh, I'd like to watch a bit of Prime, why not? I'd go on and be like, oh, I can't. But if I have the DVD, I can just slam that sucker in whenever I want. People are saying maybe they're going to be uploading this stuff to the YouTube channel for Hasbro. That's the hope, rather than Hasbro being be like, hey, let's do a streaming service. Haha. Because that's what everybody's doing, and it would be kind of funny to see Hasbro come in late to the party. It would be a bad time, because I think the bubble of streaming services is going to pop, and there's only going to be the big ones left at some point within either this year or next year. Because everybody's got a streaming service at the moment. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, like we're hitting saturation point.
Oh, I'd say we're past saturation. I think we're in the decline. Once people have set it up and seen, oh, we're not actually making money, then they'll be closing them down or like combining them together with other places.
Disney will own us all. We all know it.
Yeah, they're not a monopoly though. No.
No, it's fine. No. It's Disney. They bring joy to the children, Andy. They can't be a monopoly.
They bring joy to the children if you have the right amount of money. Pretty much. But, Mikey, TFcon. There's a load of guests that have been announced for TFcons. So in Los Angeles, on March the 11th to the 13th, Jack Lawrence is going to be there. Is this Los Angeles? Yes, Los Angeles. There's also going to be Dan Gilverson, who's the voice of Bumblebee. Livio Ramondelli, comic artist, is going to be there. Ian James Collette, voice of Cheeto. And we've also got Josh Burcham, artist man extraordinaire, are all going to be there. Remember, 11th of March to the 13th of March. Los Angeles, Angeles, whatever you want to call it. Also, TFcons announced the Chicago convention for October the 21st to the 23rd. So if you don't feel comfortable going to this one, then there's the one in October, which is a little bit further away. That's it. That's our news, Mikey. Yay! We did it!
Yay! The news, the world happened.
Hooray! So, Mikey, what have you been up to these past few weeks? What have you done for fun?
Oh, God. A couple of things. Kits. I've built 2. I've still got 1 left to build. The Legaim one. I still haven't done that.
Oh, my God.
But I have built the SD BB Unicorn Night Gundam, and I built the 30-minute missions Parlova.
Did you enjoy the Parlova? Or Portanova?
I did. It took me a lot longer than 30 minutes because of the way I built. Because I build by, like, hey, I do all the lines and everything else. Because I am a nerd. So I would be curious to see how long it would take to put together just Bam Bam, because it was very, like, only, 2 runners?
Yeah, it's either 2 or 1.
But it's a well-articulated figure. It's good to handle. Yeah. The build is simple but enjoyable.
It's solid as well for only being really few runners.
Yeah, I didn't have to do, really painting-wise. I only, redid the paint in the eye. I turned it from red to green.
Okay. That's a better color, to be fair. Makes more sense for the color scheme.
Yeah, but it's a sand-colored thing, and having this big red eye in the middle didn't work for me. It's the most Zaku-looking thing I own.
Oh my God. For now.
For now, I'm not a Zaku fan.
Oh, you piece of shit.
I don't like Zakus.
You're wrong.
I'm not wrong. I just don't like them.
You're wrong.
I will stretch to a goof. I don't like Zakus.
You're wrong.
They're not cool looking. They're not. You can giggle. The coolest looking Zaku was, weirdly enough, made for Zed and is an idol girl's stage.
You can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Do you know why?
Because horses are fucking
Zaku, stupid.
Horses
are fucking
Zaku.
stupid, and Mikey's a fucking horse.
You need to accept that's the best Zaku. The best Zaku is one from Seed, and not even one of the ones from Seed.
God damn. His mouth spews nothing but vomit and bile.
Chair Aznable, not as morally complex as some people say.
You have corn in your teeth, Mikey, from the poo coming out of your mouth.
Did they end his arc by him going supervillain crazy? Yes or no?
They ended his arc because they went, let's just do a movie. Let's just not think about it too hard.
Did they make him go supervillain crazy?
Yeah, but that doesn't dissuade
There we
everything
go.
else beforehand.
Yes, it does.
No,
It's
it
like Game of
doesn't.
Thrones.
Just because
It
you
is
have a
Game
bad
of
end
Thrones
doesn't
season
mean
8.
everything else is null and
Char's
void.
counterattack.
That's
is the Game of
absolutely
Thrones season 8
ridiculous.
of his
It's
character development.
insane just to go, oh, the end of the show is bad, or the end of his arc's bad, so everything else prior to that is absolute shit. It's like,
The
no,
two shows beforehand are completely invalidated by that terrible
That's
movie.
insane. You don't mean that. I know you don't mean that.
Hey,
That's
Sazabi kind of sucks, doesn't it?
You don't mean that because that is a terrible position.
Sazabi kind of sucks.
So, no. Just wrong.
Yeah, I can't pretend I think the Sazabi sucks. The Sazabi is really cool.
The new Gundam, yeah.
New Gundam's fine.
New Gundam's fine.
New Gundam's a better version of Gundam.
If you said, what's the manga version of the Sazabi? You know, the really big one.
Oh, the Nightingale.
The Nightingale. If you said the Nightingale sucked, I'd be like, yeah, I won't fight you on it.
The Nightingale, I prefer the high New Gundam to the New Gundam, I will say.
I don't like it colour scheme-wise. I like it, silhouette-wise, but colour scheme-wise, I'd say it's a
really
worse.
good one if you want to change the colour.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's true, because it's not coloured, practically.
Yeah. But the Nightingale, I think, is one of those, like, we were designing without any thought we were ever going to have to actually make this in physical form. It looks so impractical and so dumb. Yeah,
it's what was the mobile armor in Char's counterattack, the one that Quest goes in, because it's like that. Yeah. It's like that's a crap design. That's the worst design in Char's counterattack. That's shit.
And someone's gonna rise up and say like, "You like the ones for victory," and I'm gonna say, "Yes, we do." What's your point?
Yeah, because they're charming. They're stupid and charming
and wonderful.
The Nightingale and that mobile armor, they look crap.
Yeah,
especially the color scheme on that mobile armor from Char's counterattack. Yeah. It's like beige with a red face mouth. Like, ugh, no, that's stupid.
I still don't like Zaku's.
That's fine. You're wrong.
That's fine. It's not, but I'm going to let you have it. I like how much you sounded more genuinely annoyed by me pretending to be mad about Char. Like, Char's whole arc is undermined by a terrible movie. You bastard!
I was more annoyed that, like, I was like, there's no way you believe that. I was getting more annoyed that there could be the potential that you're like, no, I actually do mean. I'm like, no, there's no way.
Regina can die in hell. You know who had an amazing arc? The various characters of Seed.
Oh.
The Strike Gundam is the best looking Gundam, really, if we're honest.
Which one's the Strike?
The main one.
Is it the first main one? Because it's the Freedom eventually. Oh, yeah, that one's so dull.
Which is the RX-78, but we've added 2 extra spikes.
Yeah, he's got some different shoulder pads.
I also think that bloody reactive armor thing is the
that was terrible.
Effect. It's like, ooh, they didn't even do toys of it. Why did you put it in there? It didn't add anything to your narrative. It looks dumb.
You mean when they're not coloured, and then when they are?
Yeah,
colored?
Just like, ooh.
It's one of those things where it was an idea that they had that they dropped at like the halfway point or something because they were really like, this is. It's
like watching Wing again and realizing like the creative team switched completely halfway through and they're just like, we don't need any of this shit. Goodbye. We're bringing in Wing Zero and Epion. That's what we're landing on here, guys.
Yeah.
We're going to bring in the crazy Gundams and that's going to make you like our show better. And it did make people like the show better.
Shame.
I can't.
I'll get to it because I've been watching Wing again.
Oh.
Because I finished Air Turn A.
Yes, I know, I do that. But anyway, so Parlova, I would be interested in picking up some of the add-ons and some of the other kits. So,
there are a lot of things you can do now that you have the basic boy. You can add so much shit to it.
I do want to just buy like a full boy kit or whatever and just like see how long it takes to just stick it together. But then I'll be really annoyed when I have and it's not lined.
When you see a full boy kit, which kind of full boy kits do you mean? Do you mean the ones that come with upgrade kits already on them? Because a lot of them are like the Pornova. A lot of them are like basic ones, and then you add more stuff to them and make them crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, listen, we'll see. They're not expensive. The SD Unicorn, it's a really fun kit. If you're into SD kits, I highly recommend it.
Is it in the Chinese style, or is it like the normal style?
Oh no, it's the European Night style.
Oh, okay. I like those ones better, though there aren't many of them.
So the Night Gundam, same line that produced the Night Gundam.
I get you.
But it's for something with such a simple design, it's managed to pull off 3 pretty decent transformations. So you've got the base one, which is like the most knight-looking one, where he's got like the mask over, and it's like a knight's mask, and he's got the unicorn horn, and that's like the top of the mask is shaped like a unicorn's head. And then very simple transformation with a little bit of part swapping, but not much. And he suddenly looks like the Psycho Mode Unicorn Gundam, like the green, lots of green visible. He's now got a V-fin instead of a unicorn mask, and he's got a Gundam head. And they added in an original design as well, which is you swap out the V-fin for a stylized one, and you swap the arms around, you swap some other things around, and turn some flaps, and now he's got like a SD original super mode.
Ooh.
And like it's really fun. If you like SD kits, like it's a really enjoyable experience. It's compatible with the Knight's horse parts, so you can swap those on. That's intended, so you can make a unicorn. But I really liked him, and it was like really fun because like lots of little details that are fun to paint and not frustrating to paint. So I spent 2 or 3 days actually doing him up. I'm really like one day I'm going to get to the stage where it's like I want to go try like doing like here's a like fully weathered kit, but that's outside my price range in terms of like supplies at the moment. But no, I think he turned out really well. He comes with a big shank. I did have to paint up the gold parts because they were that like Bandai gold.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is not the nicest thing in the world, but it came together very nicely. I was listening to a review of the Knight Rider opening episodes at the time.
The Knight Rider.
The Knight Rider. Remember Knight Rider?
Sorry. I didn't think you meant like the one with the car.
Yep, the one with the car. Just
okay.
A review of the first 4 episodes, I think it was. Up to Car, where Car is going like, you wish to eat.
Oh, you mean
you
Optimus
wish to
Prime.
reproduce. Yeah. Which I didn't realize back when I saw it was Optimus Prime.
No, yeah, you wouldn't, I suppose.
Yeah. But no, I really do recommend these kits. It's a big line. They're from 2012, I believe. And like I've gotten 2 now, and they're both excellent. And if you don't like SD kits, I'm sorry, you're just confused. But it's okay. Right. We can save you.
Mm-hmm.
As I wish I could tell Mecha Guy Kotsu occasionally. Where he's just like, this is fine, it's an SD kit, but I mean, I technically think it's bad. I'm just like, you fool!
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I haven't built the Lagaim kit yet, so any other I didn't get much in the way of presents. It was mostly like Christmas jumpers and stuff like that.
Clothing to keep you warm and clothed.
In terms of media, let's see, Genlock wrapped up. Genlock Season 2.
How many episodes was it? It seemed like it went
8.
by quick.
8 episodes.
Okay.
I have finalized my opinion. They fucked up.
Oh. Do you think it was a problem from switching who owned them?
Yeah, I think switching to HBO Max, like the creative team is completely different. Now, Grey Haddock, I'm sure, is still a producer or something like that, but the writers are different, the directors are different, the executive producers seem different. I think switching over to a HBO Max thing made someone go like, we can push extremes, and they went in completely the wrong direction in terms of trying to develop a narrative. Like, the second half of the show is actively contradicting elements of the first half. They end in a really weird way. It's effectively stopped being a mecha show and is now moved into cyberpunk.
Yay. What everybody wanted.
Yeah, which is really disappointing to like, especially like the final big bad mecha in it is such a poor design compared to the Nemesis from the first season.
Okay.
There's a lot of symbolism and stuff.
Oh, it's Evangelion. Oh my god.
Kind of. But and they end in a really weird way, which is like that thing we have now fundamentally proved is kind of murdering everyone. We're going to do it anyway because it's a human evolution.
All right.
Is evolving into a techno species.
That's not evolution.
And also it turns out, even though we never mentioned this before, the Earth's dying. That
seems like something you'd talk about.
Yeah, that seems like something in Season 1 would have been a big deal.
Yeah.
But they threw in so many like weird things into Season 2 that they didn't set up. And I really like Season 1. I think Season 1 is an enjoyable, self-contained story that touches on a lot of cool stuff, that touches on a lot of modern issues that I think handles it really well and everything else. Season 2 goes after those issues and is more concerned about a weird imagery than it is actually handling them.
Okay. So it asks questions but doesn't answer them, kind of.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, we can show a weird sex scene, or we can show a full frontal female nudity, or we can show a sex scene which is really creative, but that's all it is. Or we can show a sex scene that's really... Or we can kill a guy who's like one of the they killed 2 major supporting cast members from Season 1 in the most offhand, no one gives a shit way. Because no one mourns them.
Mikey, you gotta subvert things, right?
Like,
otherwise, no one's going to be interested unless you subvert people's expectations.
I was really willing to give it a chance because, like, okay, you're doing something different. That's okay, and it just like, I think they done fucked up to quote a phrase, and which is disappointing because like I really like Genlock season 1.
Stop that! You're not allowed to like things. When you like things, it means that they turn to shit. That's
kind of what happened here. It turned to shit, in my opinion. I started watching a show called Idaten Deities: A Peaceful Generation, anime based on a webcomic by the creator of Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. This is more a shonen-y combat one that he stopped updating, I think, in 2016. So it's very strange to me it got an adaptation in 2021. I've seen 2 episodes. I don't know if I'll continue. I haven't decided. The art style is really good. Like, before I knew who made it, I was very like, this is very familiar. Okay. And it's very violent, but it's like, for most part, it's fairly like fun combat violence. But like, ha 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 ha, like, the main characters are all deities who were summoned, like, their species was brought onto Earth 800 years ago to beat back demons, and then the demons disappeared, and now the modern generation is living in a post-demon world, and they're being trained by the last survivor of the original bunch. And there's some interesting things, like the fact they don't care about humans, really. They exist to protect, they literally exist to destroy demons.
Okay.
Apart from that, they really don't care if we slaughter each other. Like, which is an interesting idea, like, especially since these are your heroes, these are your protagonists, like, they're being portrayed as having a very different moral system. And demons are, like, weirdly closer to being real animals than the gods are.
Oh, okay.
Which is, I think, interesting. And, like, there's funny things like, hey, there's this super powerful god, and, like, her training is she punches your heart out.
That's good training. That's solid training.
And, like, there's a lot of gags and stuff. And then episode 1 ends in a rape scene.
Oh, thank God. Some content.
Like, not super...
Why, though? Why does it do that, though?
As graphic as you could get away with rape scene.
But why do it, though?
I think it's to highlight the fact that this nun, who we see in the next episode, is lying broken in a pool of blood and semen. And that's not an exaggeration. This has been a really light-hearted kind of wacky fight episode until now, with a almost Go-Nagai-esque villain. Which, actually, when I make that comparison.
Yeah, you should have known, yeah.
And I think it's there to show, like, she's asking the gods to save her people as they're being slaughtered and murdered and raped. And the gods aren't coming because we just learned the gods don't care about us.
What a shock.
And then episode 2 has more like content building or world building, and then introduces demon characters, and then is actually a prequel to episode 1. So we see the army that attacked before they attacked, and like there's a person leading them who's like a demon in human disguise, and she's like going like, what will you do? We'll kill, we'll rape, we'll murder and spoil, and what will you spoil? And she gets a creepy smile on, and then they just start screaming, girls, boys, grandfathers, like, and I think it's meant to be a comedy moment where like a guy yells grandfathers and someone else goes like, dude, that's weird. I don't know. The art style I think is really nice, and it's animated by Mappa, which means it's really good.
Okay, right.
But like the deity side of things is actually really interesting. I think the demon side of it in general is fun. It's just there's these 2 like 2-minute scenes in this show that feel like they're from a different show, and
random edgy stuff for no reason. Like you could take it out and you wouldn't really lose a lot.
Yeah, and like obviously, from what I was reading, caused a lot of controversy. Like,
is it not one of those things like Goblin Slayer, where it's like you get these 2 really extreme things to get people's attention on the show, and then after that, it won't be there?
I don't know, because like I think it's going to stay there because it seems like intrinsic to the narrative.
Okay.
Like I'm probably going to try at least 2 more episodes just to see how I feel. Because like I said, like 80% of this show had me interested.
Yeah.
20% made me go like, I'm sorry, what show are we writing now? Because like one of the things I hate about Game of Thrones is how it got like really ridiculous and how it approached sex and assault and stuff like that. Because it was fucking childish. Also, it became terrible. But Like, it's just it's a bugbear of mine, like, where it's like, hey, we don't have a story, let's have extreme violence. Hey, we don't have an idea, let's just have someone be raped because someone will be shocked. Like, it's lazy writing, apart from everything else. It's weird. It's weird, and it felt out of place, and I think that's the problem. If it was a show like, what was it? Gate had an actually more graphic rape scene, and it didn't jump out. It felt like the show is tonally set it up that this is possible. We've just never shown it. Well, now we're showing it to you to show, like, you settled into the show, but bad shit is happening elsewhere. Fate is another thing I would, like, it's part of the narrative, like, a lot of psychological dramas, especially from the 2000s and stuff. It makes sense in the context of the show. This didn't.
Okay.
This felt like you will be uncomfortable watching a rape scene, and that's the effect we want.
Okay.
It's like, they didn't feel like there was anything else to it. I'm overthinking it, I know, but yeah, I'll try a couple more episodes, but we'll see. Really good art style.
Well, you said it was Mappa, so
yeah. So there's that. Watch a couple of anime movies that aren't really notable.
Ouch.
Yeah. Watched a kaiju movie, a kaiju short called Howl from Beyond the Fog. It's based on The Foghorn by Ray Bradbury, very loosely based. Basic story is 1909, a guy goes to his family home where he's never been before, meets his estranged mother, and finds a girl who's blind in his attic. And it turns out she nightly goes to visit a kaiju-sized lake monster. And people find out and think she's possessed by the devil, and people want her land, and it pisses the monster off. The interesting thing about it, all the human characters are done with puppets.
Oh, okay.
I'm not, like, not Thunderbolt fantasy level, like, very simple. This was kickstarted, so it's not, like, high budget or anything. But tonally, it's quite interesting. It's very simple, but for something that's only 35 minutes long, I think they did a good job. I got hold of the Heisei Gamera trilogy, which I'm hoping to watch in the next few days. Which apparently are, like, the best kaiju movies ever made. Never seen them. Revice is up to episode 17.
That feels like it should be way further ahead, but obviously they had a break, didn't they?
Yeah. But kind of hitting some Gaim-esque territory.
Oh, I was worried. You were going to say something else.
Yeah.
Ghost-level territory. I thought you were going to say ghost-level territory.
It's hit some darker concepts. It's also basically doing Wizards concepts, but better.
I've seen from, like, the Candy Toys, at least my opinion, the other forms are not my cup of tea.
The new ones or the standard?
You know the image
forms?
that I showed you?
No, that's today. The remixes and stuff like that. They've been largely phased out.
Okay. Oh, they've gone, have they? Fair enough.
Yeah, there is new forms introduced. We're at the first quarter super form stage.
Yeah, whichever ones they are. The last one, I don't know what it is, but it's like it's primarily like blue with a bit of pink
buried Rex. I kind of like it. It's not my favorite.
I think it's a color scheme. I don't like that kind of blue with that kind of pink. I think it works better when it's reversed and it's the main kind of that pink is the primary color and the blue's the highlight color. I don't think it works the other way around. They've changed
it pretty quick because Buried Rex is being played as like it's a prototype form. You know, like that thing. Like, hey, there's a new form.
It's Rabbit. It's the black version of Rabbit or whatever.
Except not as narratively interesting, to be honest. But
that's a shame. Fair enough.
But they do make some, like, at the moment the big thing is they've hit a stage where they're destroying the demons, but the demons aren't infusing from their humans; they're just being absorbed into the big evil statue.
Okay,
and
that seems
body
like a
count,
bad idea.
Yeah, and it's mostly focusing on Icky's kind of. He wants a way out from doing that because he doesn't want to kill anyone.
Haha, lame.
Except now he's killed like 5 people. Introducing a new type of monster, which is a very different aesthetic, called a Giftarian, which is really interesting. Slight spoilers here, but it's basically, what if instead of a demon either appearing outside its host or fusing with its host, it ate its host and used that energy to form a body?
Oh.
And by 8, I mean it basically burns them from the inside out and then shatters them.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Didn't we have like monsters like that from previous Kamen Rider shows?
Shut your face, Andy. Shut your damn face.
No, I wasn't being like ironic or like
Wizard did it.
Oh, did it? Okay, yeah. I thought there was something
Wizard,
that did something like
Wizard
it.
was supposed to did it, but never did.
No, I was actually thinking like didn't I'm probably wrong. Didn't like the Fangarians do it from Kiva?
Yeah, well, no, the Fangires were always like they were always a separate species, but they disguised themselves as humans.
Ah, right. Okay, I think I must have just been getting it confused because of the glass like aesthetic.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
went for. Okay.
Because it's like kind of like the way it worked is like you stamp someone with this big evil stamp, they catch fire, and that fire goes. They're screaming the entire time. By the way, they turn to some sort of like glassy stone, and then the monster punches its way out of you, and then it very clearly, in a quite well modulated voice, says, "Oh no, she's dead.
Nice.
I ate her." And she was very tasty.
So basically, you're saying that when you wanted to form these contracts, you wanted to be on the ground level of getting the contracts. You don't want to be doing the contracts now.
No, you do not want to be assigned. No, this is like many companies. We've got like 5 mysteries in the air at the moment.
Okay, wow. Okay, that's quite a lot of plot threads. That's
yeah.
This could be a concern because we've seen many Japanese media that have lots of story threads going and then rush them at the last episode. Yep,
but we're gonna stay positive because right now I think it's a really good show.
Okay, that's good.
The worst thing I can say is Vice is quite broad, but he's no worse than Momotaros at this stage.
Okay.
And I like Momotaros, so I don't like Vice as much as Momotaros, but Momo I think was better performed and I think integrated a bit better into the story. But I think Vice is overall like fine. Like, he's very Japanese is the worst thing I can say about the character.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Vice when I was watching the show.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about his actual performance. I think his performance is a little too broad.
Yeah, I never get the sense that he was meant to be threatening. He just came across as the silly character.
Yeah.
Like, and I thought there should be a bit more of maybe tension. Like
and they're moving into the Vice's now becoming more sincere phase of the story as well, which means they're going to have to adjust the performance of it, I think.
Yeah, I think they maybe wanted to go for a bit more of an Ankh. Not exactly like Ankh. Maybe more playful than Ankh, but all the time, at least with those, there was that threat. The Ankh's just like, I'm doing this because I have to. If I didn't need you, I'd be killing people, bro.
And that's why we all cry in that scene where they're in the ocean and Eiji says, thank you.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And if you don't cry, you're a fucking monster.
Yeah, this guy's a bit too dancey around a lot of the time.
Yeah, like that's why I think he's more he's more in the Momo phase, but again, Momo's character was less broad than that.
And it made sense for like Deno to go like that, because the feel of Deno was a happier show generally. Like all the demons, all of the train guys, like they were fun.
Wacky.
They were
wacky.
wacky.
Inflatable arm waving too, man.
Yeah, exactly.
But I like, especially since like early on you had that fort wall breaking that's pretty much completely gone now.
That's gone. Okay.
And Saber portrayed Vice as a very different character in the one episode he appeared in.
Movie or actual episode?
Actual episode. They did like a special. I didn't watch the end of Saber because Saber was
terrible. Sorry, you mean from Saber. Okay.
Yeah. They did an episode where like just Vice and Revice show up and like it's fart jokes and really broad humor. And I get the distinct feeling that they designed Vice as a comedy character when this show was going to be a lot wackier. And they didn't redesign him. They're just like trying to integrate him more into the series as it's evolved.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm very interested in where the story's going. There's so much up in the air right now. Like, we've got 3 or 4 different mysteries. We've got the problems with demons where clearly his driver is doing something to him. Evil is still out there, or in there, rather. And, like, where did Kamen Rider Jane's driver come from? Who are the creepy... There was a big reveal about the dad in the most recent couple of episodes, which raises so many questions. But no, Revice, I think, is into a good stride. It feels like it's wrapped up its first arc and it's moving on to its second one. And I'm curious to see where it goes. Caught up in Digimon Ghost game as well. That has turned out really fun. It's a lot of horror tropes, but done well. Obviously, like, if they don't scare someone our age, but if you were the target audience, I think you'd be genuinely creeped out by a lot of it.
What's the target age?
I'd say 9 to 12.
Okay, all right.
And then episode 13 happened, and it was kind of like, So up until then, it was, hey, the whole thing was like, it's very different in many ways, for one thing. Like, they've never technically won a fight. Because most of the Digimon that show up are like ultimate level. And are way stronger than them. So it's all about more like the Digimon, interacting with the Digimon and talking to them. Like more like, it's a ghost story. It's a detective ghost club kind of thing, you know? And like, you don't beat the ghost by beating it, you beat it by talking to it. And then episode 13 showed up and like, no, this Digimon is not like some misunderstood or well-meaning spirit. This one's a literal serial killer.
Oh.
Who is killing people to get to a number. Not for any reason, just because he wants to get more kills.
Wait, is he going for a round number? What kind of number is he going for?
He hits a round number and keeps trying.
Okay.
And also, he kills you by throwing a knife into your head.
I mean, that's fairly quick at least, so that's not bad.
And yeah, we get main secondary character deaths. And we get the introduction of a dark Digimon, which is a wee bit different from any time it's been done before.
Right.
Because most of the time what they are, it's like Skullgreymon or Megidramon or something like that. It's like this big screaming hulk of a thing that will kill us all and it has no mind of its own.
Mm-hmm.
This is like smooth operator, I just don't give a shit kind of evil.
Alright.
And it's like, oh, here's this cute little baby dinosaur Digimon, and now he's just vicious and mean and can punch a hole through reality. So I'm really surprised. Digimon Ghost Game's coming together quite nicely. And yeah, last one I saw, I am now up to date on the Marvel Spider-Man movies. So I have seen Far From Home and I have seen No Way Home.
Lame.
One of them was... Holy shit, Far From Home's terrible.
That's the second one. I always need to say this because I cannot, for the life of me, remember what the Holland Spider-Man films are called. It's not because I hate them all, but I just don't know. I can't tell you what they're called. I saw one this week myself. I don't know what it's called. I said I want to see the Spider-Man film.
You saw No Way Home.
I saw Spider-Man 3 Tom Holland 3.
Well, I saw the movie that is basically Spider-Man 3's with Tom Holland in it.
The Tobey Maguire's 3, but
no. I mean, Far From Home is as bad as Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's his 3. Tobey Maguire's third film. Yes, I would agree.
And people were telling me it's not, and it's great, and I'm just like,
I didn't do that.
Absolutely fucking joking.
I didn't tell you
this is. Good. I haven't had a reaction to a Marvel movie this bad since fucking Thor Ragnarok. This
is what you get for believing in people and not me, Mikey.
I didn't believe in anyone. I just thought I had to watch them before watching No Way Home. But, like, I wasn't expecting any... I didn't think you could make a movie this bad again. Because it's a fucking disaster. The characters are incredibly poorly developed.
How bad is MJ in it? How annoying is she in that
She's not
film?
A character in it.
She is in the third movie, thank God, but not in that one.
No, she's barely a character in the first one. She's less of a character in the second one because suddenly Peter's in love with her, but we don't develop that for any reason at all, and she literally exists just for him to fancy.
Yeah, well, she's got boobs, that's it. She's Zendaya. Zendaya's a pretty lady.
Tom Holland's actual girlfriend.
Yeah.
We've got the Tony Stark plot, which is so badly handled because it's almost never touched on. Like, this whole thing about him, like, there's this really forced scene of him, like, being jumped by reporters for 5 seconds and going like, do you think you're the new Iron Man? I'm just like, what? And then I'm looking at a picture of Tony Stark, and then it's not relevant because it's a wacky comedy. It's a wacky fun comedy until it's not, and then suddenly we have a 5-minute scene in the plane where, like, pretending this has been the whole thrust of the fucking movie. Like, he hasn't shown any interest in being new Tony Stark. Why are we talking about him being new Tony Stark? Are you fucking insane?
Mm-hmm.
The jokes are as bad as... There are jokes in here as bad as Tobey Maguire dancing down the street.
I can't remember, but I'm not going to fight you on it because I don't remember a lot about that film. I remember very, very little.
Everything involving the teacher. Everything involving... Like, it's weird. It feels like some produce... Because, do you know what's really weird? The writing and director team are the same as the first and the third movie.
Really?
It just feels to me like they like had a general vision, and then some producer came in and said like, here's a list of things that people responded well to in other Marvel movies, please stick them all into one film.
My assumption when I saw the second one was somebody went, who loved Thor Ragnarok, and everyone put up the hand and went, all of Thor Ragnarok, and went, we need to make Spider-Man into Thor Ragnarok.
But like, there's scenes in here that are lifted from Ant-Man. There's scenes from here that are lifted from like, you know, the Ant-Man, like that guy does the speech and everyone loved it. Like, I said to my friend Debbie, and she said to my friend Tom, and Tom said to my friend that one. It got really memey. The reveal of Mysterio, who is the worst villain in the Marvel franchise, by the way, and I'd like Mysterio normally.
I think that's hyperbole, because, you know, there's Malekith.
It's not. No, I don't. Malekith is better. Malekith is a fucking threat.
Okay, so you mean in terms of threat? I thought you meant in terms of character, because in terms of character... That's not true.
Malekith is at least the gimmick.
But no, Malekith's nothing. At least,
I'd say it. Nothing. He doesn't offend me. He's nothing. Mysterio is a fucking insult.
Okay. Again, I haven't seen the film in a long time, so I can't really. I can't attack you or tell you're wrong. I wish I could.
But they just do like the reveal of the bad guys, which is like, here's all these people you've never heard of who have no relevance to anything, who get a 5-minute introduction scene. And then Mysterio's plan is fucking ridiculous for the first part. He's not a threat.
No.
He is the most anticlimactic Marvel ending in years, possibly ever, because it's not a fight. He runs down a corridor. And then there is the fucking end credits scene.
Which one's the end credits scene?
The one with the bloody scroll.
Is that when Nick Fury's the Skrull?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Which is literally insulting.
It almost feels like that's there to explain why Nick Fury doesn't act like Nick Fury, and it's like, that doesn't make it any better.
Literally is. I looked it up.
Oh, that's terrible. Don't do that.
The director said, we're post-production, Nick's not, because of the way we wrote the story, Nick's not really acting the way Nick would. We need to justify it. Quick, add this scene in. That's literally what he did, and it's a fucking insult.
It's no, I mean, yeah.
It is. It's an insult to your intelligence as a viewer. Like, because it's saying, like, we couldn't think of a way to write Nick Fury to make him work in the context of it was, but you're dumb enough to play along, so ha ha ha, this is why you're dumb, because you believed it was Nick Fury and it wasn't. Like, I was genuinely mad after turning that movie off. I haven't felt my time wasted so much in a very long time. So I was ready to punch No Way Home in the gut. That's a very good film.
It is. It's very good. It's like what movies used to be.
First of all, it's a Spider-Man film, and it's the first Marvel Spider-Man film.
Yeah.
Because he is not a sidekick.
Yeah.
It is a story centered around Spider-Man topics, where our Spider-Man, our frontal Spider-Man, our full frontal Tom Holland Spider-Man, has to be Spider-Man and do Spider-Man things that are not related to having a magic suit.
He's not being carried around either by other people.
Yep.
Which it always felt like in the other films.
And I thought they were going to do that with Doctor Strange, and I think the Doctor Strange parts are the weakest part of this, but they don't play him as like, I'm your new mentor. It's like, no, we're on the same page and you're a fucking idiot.
I've heard some people say that a criticism some people have with the praise that this movie's got is that people say that Spider-Man has to suffer to be Spider-Man, and I would kind of agree that he does need to suffer to be Spider-Man, because it's an integral part of the character.
Yeah.
Their argument to that is like, oh, so if he can climb a wall and he can swing a web, he's not Spider-Man. Like, I'm like, no, he's not.
If you look at...
He's not. He's like in Tobey Maguire's movie, he doesn't become Spider-Man until he accidentally kills the crook and realizes he's made a horrible mistake, and that's after Uncle Ben's died as well, and he's gone through the he becomes Spider-Man after the funeral.
It's fundamental to the character. Like, look at the other versions, like Miles Morales. They did the same thing with him and his dad. Gwen Stacy, they did the same thing with her as Spider-Gwen, with her and her version of Peter.
Yeah, every version of Spider-Man has to lose a family member.
Now, they did it with Spider-Man Noir. They did it with Penny.
I heard these people say, well, didn't he lose Tony? And it's like, there's a difference between losing a family member who you're very close to and a boss kind of slightly father figure. It's different. He's not actually his dad. That's a very different thing.
like I said, Far From Home never develops that. Like,
That's
Far From
also a
Home
problem.
could have, like, opened with, like, Peter's gone crazy and he's overdoing it because he thinks he has to fill in for Tony. That could have been the fucking plot.
Yeah. I think that's what they kind of sort of wanted to do with the movie, because they have those shots of, like, of Tom Holland looking at pictures of Tony Stark, you know, the murals and stuff, and being sad. And it's all about the consequences of Tony Stark dying, and Spider-Man getting a drone army, which is bizarre. Like, no.
But, like, okay, so I'm going to say spoilers because it's been, like, a month.
It's been out for a while. If you haven't seen Spider-Man 3...
Please go see it.
Whichever one it is.
Stop listening and go see it. That's just my recommendation, or I am going to say some spoilers.
I would agree.
I thought the bad guys were all excellent.
Yeah.
There's some that don't do anything, like Lizard and Sandman are just there to fill out the roster.
Sandman, I'd say Sandman's the worst, because he's like, okay, I'll help, and then it's like, nah, I'm not gonna by the end. It's like, okay, Flint, calm the fuck down, bro.
They really get Jamie Foxx a chance to actually do something with Electro.
Yeah, I never saw that Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie. I hear it was bad.
He's very bad in it because he's badly directed.
Yes,
that's what I heard. Like, that's something I forgot to say. Far From Home has an amazing cast who are fucking fighting to make that movie good. They failed, but they tried. Green Goblin and Doc Ock obviously are center stage.
I thought you didn't like Willem Dafoe, Mikey.
I don't like William Dafoe in general, but I do like him as Green Goblin.
He is great. My
because
one issue
is Green Goblin.
My one issue is I wish he kept the mask on. That's an issue I think generally with the movie. It's not a massive issue with the movie, but I did notice they take the masks off as much as they can. All the Spider-Men do. Green Goblin does. Granted, no one else really wears a mask, but. Neither here nor there. The masks come off incredibly quickly. His glasses. That's true. That's when he's when he's.
I know they changed they did that with Green Goblin because they wanted him to put on the purple hoodie, which would become his hood. Which I get the idea of it, but like I do love that mask.
Yeah, the mask is good. It's fun, and it's
fun and dumb.
Like for me, the Green Goblin has a weird fruity face with pointy ears and bright yellow eyes. That's the Green Goblin. It's like Hobgoblin. He's got the big yellow face with big red eyes and a hood. You know. Yeah,
and Defoe did a lot of his own stunts as well. He insisted.
That's good. Back otherwise, good man.
Considering his age, fair play to him.
How old is he? But he must be like 60s, 70s, right?
But Doc Ock I thought was excellent.
I mean, it's Alfred Molina, you know.
Yeah, but like I just love that they just said like we're just going to do the character from the movie 2. We're not going to
just like that. He picked it up. He just
we're not going to make him MCU.
Yeah, he just came back and just was like, oh yeah, I know how to do this role.
And the nanotech scene was fun instead of dumb.
He could have really gone dumb.
Yeah, but
they could have done way more jokes as well with it.
Yeah, but like the way they worked is like they made him a real threat, and it was you made a tactical error, and I'm taking advantage of it, and now we're going to have some fun with it.
Yeah, he made a mistake which he did not know about. He was like, "Oh, you got nanotech, I'll have that," and then it's no, no, my arms, no, and
still playing up the fact the arms are alive.
Yeah, which was interesting.
Yeah, and then obviously that plays into his arc in the thing. Green Goblin, I love the idea that if Green Goblin encounters anyone in that suit, he needs to make them suffer because you need to know what suffering is.
We're gods, Peter. You and I aren't so different. Spider-Man slaps. That's what the one thing we needed was he needed to slap the back of Tom's Holland head once.
Yeah, just like slap him, like lean against the wall.
Yes,
just like. Hey, buddy.
You know what they could have... They could have done that scene. Not exactly. They could have done that scene when they were working together. And it's not a slap on the back of the head. It's just like a slap on the back and he leans back.
The fact he said, I'm something of a scientist myself.
I laughed. I was the only person in the cinema who laughed. Because I was like, I know that meme.
I'm something of a scientist myself. But like, again, that's the kind of humor I like.
Same. It's referential. It's nice. And it's clearly not like in your face. Haha, this is a joke. Because I was the only one that got it, seemingly.
Yeah, but
in the cinema,
after the opening scene with, because they really get into this very quickly. After the opening scene with Strange, I think Strange works fairly well in the story.
Yeah.
I think the way they played off the action scene with him, and like, it all comes down to maths. I like that. And then like the stuff with Aunt May, I think was good, and I think it's good they worked in the line. I think the line is important. It's cheesy, but it needs to be said. It's again one of those things that mantra. Responsibility, power that needs to be in his head.
Because it's a key example of why he acts the way he does afterwards.
I I like when they brought in Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Oh,
I
that's
think
so
they
good.
both did great. Andrew Garfield, it's like, okay, so the movies aren't great. His version of Spider-Man is great.
He's the best Peter Parker out of all of them.
He is. He's the one who plays up the humor as well, the wit and the bad jokes.
Yeah, this movie actually genuinely made me more annoyed at those Spider-Man films because it showed how good Andrew Garfield was and how fucked he was, how screwed he was by those movies. Because he got fucked by those films because those movies are badly written, and he's a really solid Spider-Man.
And like just that moment, he's like big action scene. The first thing he does is like, "Hey, buddy, how you been?" And he like draws attention in, and he's always telling him a joke. Where the other two are still gags, but they're more like dry wit.
Yeah.
And he is the guy telling the joke to fill the airspace.
You and I both have said Toby has never been... We like Toby, but Toby's never been able to pull that off. He just doesn't have the voice for it to make you go, oh yeah, I believe that this guy can annoy me enough, but still sound jokey and playful. Andrew Garfield had that down to a T. Absolutely.
And like, then I thought it was a brilliant idea to just go like, yeah, so Spider-Man 2, he actually carried that with him for years.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's a great idea from a terrible film. It made me think, maybe I should watch that film. And then I came out of the cinema going, what am I thinking? No.
Because that movie ends with him fighting a big robot rhino.
That's right.
While telling good jokes. On behalf of all the people in New York and real rhinos everywhere, please step out of the mech. Like, that's a good line.
That's a Spider-Man line.
That's the Spider-Man line. And then giving him the save and letting him have, like...
Oh, that made me sad.
But just, like, again, really... And
it was emotional.
They didn't, like... it because it didn't do what the MCU would have done, which was two things. It would have gone, I'm crying because I couldn't save my girlfriend and I've saved his girlfriend, so I've managed to... This has given me some closure, and maybe I'll go back to my world and not be quite as brutal as I have been. Also, here's a bad gag to set off the drama.
100%. I was thinking, I was invested in that scene, and I was like, there's going to be a joke coming. There's going to be... MJ is going to say something like, oh, you can put me down now. Or something like that. It's like, it's okay, I'm not hurt, don't cry. Yeah.
Are you okay? Yeah. Are you okay? Yeah. That was a really good scene.
Yeah.
And like even the jokey parts of it did work. Like the scene where they're sitting around talking about like the powers and like the differences between the three universes worked, I think.
So how do you make that? Does the web come out of anywhere else? It's like,
and I like it. Are you making fun of me? No, we can't do that.
Yeah, I can't do that. I want to know. I'm interested. How do you
like? What's the weirdest enemy you've ever fought? I fought an alien goo. I fought an alien in space. Oh, whoa! I haven't fought anyone.
Yeah. Oh, again, it feels so bad. Andrew Garfield's like, you guys have done so many cool things. I've done nothing. That's the Marvel writers going, we've given this poor guy nothing. But
I liked Tobey Maguire's response to that, which was very telling. Just like, no, you're great. Say it with me now. You're great. I'm great. You're amazing. Just like, oh, you all realize he got fucked.
Yeah. I think everybody at this point realizes that Garfield got fucked over, unfortunately.
Yeah, and like, it was so nice to just have him be Peter and be a really solid Peter Parker. And I thought Tobey Maguire really played off the others. Like, his age played well into it.
Definitely, yeah. He's better as he's better as college Spider-Man than he is as teenager Spider-Man, which he was meant to be.
And I really liked the scene between him and Ock.
Yeah, I kind of wish there was a bit more. It was very quick. I do,
but it was like, it worked for me just because like it played off, like the first thing he says is like, how you been? I'm trying to do better. And that's a callback to when, Doc Ock meets him. He says like, oh, he told me about you. He says you're brilliant. Oh, he also says you're lazy. I'm trying to do better.
That's right, yeah.
And how are you been? I'm trying to do better. And like, oh my God, I wanted them to hug.
Same.
Because like that was like, he loves him. He really does love him.
Because
that's kind of the problem.
That relationship there is what they try to get with Tony Stark and Tom Holland, but it was never as good as the Tobey Maguire, Alfred Molina relationship, where I saw like that, and I could see Tom Holland. Sorry, not Tom Holland. I could see Tobey Maguire seeing Doc Ock as a father figure. And that's why it made that whole thing of him dying at the end way more tragic than just Tony Stark being, I'm a father figure to you. It's like, are you though? You're so pushy away. You don't really like Tom Holland. Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland's Spider-Man guy, Peter Parker. I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
And I thought Jamie Foxx's interaction with Andrew Garfield, I thought was really good. And the whole thing about him, like, because like a thing in his movie is that he's obsessed with Spider-Man because he sees Spider-Man as like, you save me, I'm your best friend kind of thing, which they play on less here.
Yes, thank God. Yeah.
But like the fact he went like, listen, I saw you're always helping people, you always do something for the little guy and everything else. I always hoped you were black. Just like, because the whole point is I've always tried to see myself in you. And that really worked for me because it was just like, it's about the fact that Jamie Foxx's Electro just wants this person to be him. Ultimately, he just wants to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then just like, there's someone out there and they're just like, because we can't say Miles because he's licensed up. Because he's licensed up by Sony. But I just thought like I said, Lizard and Sandman got the worst of it, and I thought they
Lizard
all got
especially, but I suppose you can't do much
Lizard's
with that
just
Lizard.
Lizard's just a dick in this.
Yeah, he's not even that much of a dick. He's just like, yeah, I'll work with you. Now it's time to break out. He doesn't really he doesn't do much, and maybe it's because there's too much to work with. There's so much that's going on in this film. Not like in Spider-Man 3, where it's a problem. There's just too much to go through.
Yeah,
but
there's too much good stuff to go through, and it's just like, I mean, do we want to spend time on the Lizard who got a pretty, he doesn't die in his universe, so he gets a resolution.
That's right, and he wasn't that very interesting. Yeah. He hasn't been set up to be an interesting character,
and like it opens the way for speculation as well. Like, what happened to Ock and Goblin when they went back?
That's the thing. Because I saw the mid-credit thing. I didn't know if there was an end-to-end credit scene. Was there an end-to-end credit scene?
I don't remember. I know, there was a trailer.
Oh.
There was a trailer for Multiverse of Madness.
But that's a Marvel movie. Sorry, not a Sony movie.
Yeah.
That's lame. I don't care about the Multiverse of Madness, because I have a feeling it'll be a Marvel film.
Yeah.
Not a Sony Marvel film. Though saying that, I say that, and it's not like I love Venom, and Venom 2 I heard was pretty bad, so...
Oh, it's terrible.
But
when they get the Spider-Man movies right, they get them right. It's just, they can get them wrong as well. But overall, I'm just really, really pleased. And like, I'm very curious, like, some people are saying like, oh, Doc Ock went back, and he would have gone back right as the sun, as the power source was exploding, so he still died, but, he was still a hero when he died. Maybe that happened. Maybe the timeline's been altered now and he gets to live on. Because, like, it's clearly been altered because the Green Goblin's gone.
Yeah. Well,
like,
has it? Like, who fucking knows
know.
how that works?
Like,
it really
I'd like
matter,
to think it's gone, like, what they did changed it, and, like, each of them has now got, the Spider-Men are now lived a little bit of a different life.
Well, logically, it would mean that they all created their own extra new universes where there's a new timeline that follows from there.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Hey, if you want to do a movie which is Doc Ock and Tobey Maguire being cool and awesome together, I will watch that. If you want to do the follow-up to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and, like, how he's dealing with his new attitude in life, I'm fucking fine with that.
I don't think they'd do that. That'd be fun.
No.
I don't think they'd do that.
Like, Garfield said he would come back.
I think he just likes being Spider-Man, and I think he probably wants to make a good Spider-Man film.
Hey guys, they're doing a crossover film. You should really get a part of that.
Yeah.
And it's a cartoon, which means they can have all the jokes.
That's right, yeah. They can have everybody in, and they don't need to worry about like hurting their backs or anything.
And then they end it by doing one more day, but doing it good.
Yes, well, yeah.
Because I remember I came out of that, I was just like, they did one more day. What?
They did one more day, but it wasn't terrible. And it had a decent meaning behind it.
Oh no, my aunt's dying of what? A bullet wound. A bullet wound in the Marvel universe.
And she was like 80 or 90 as well, so it's like she had a good life. Come on.
But I just loved it. I went round to everyone. I went to Doctor Doom. I went to Stephen Strange. I went to people beyond the reality. And none of them could help her.
So I went to Satan. What could
All
go wrong?
These people could... Stephen Strange can rewrite reality on the atomic level, but he can't take a bullet out of an old woman. So we need to go to Satan and kill my marriage and insult comic readers and married people because I just got a divorce and I'm really bitter. Joke aside.
No one liked that. No,
but I liked how they did it here, which was, what happens if we don't do this? An infinite number of people are about to descend on top of us. Do it. And that was a very Peter Parker moment as well.
Yeah.
And I liked the ending. And I heard this movie was secretly a way of turning this into a Spider-Man franchise because it ends on him with a homemade suit that looks very, very, very Marvel comics. Which people said they looked at some screenshots and stuff it's taking design like the front is Tobey Maguire's suit and the back is Andrew Garfield's with the spider symbol.
Right.
I just like that the movie ends with Peter Parker living a Peter Parker life. And not being down and out, but living his own life.
Yes.
Not being the Peter Parker would-be Avenger Tony Stark, mini Tony Stark with all his robots. And they've confirmed he's coming back for 3 more films. I don't know if that's a good idea or not.
I guess it depends how they write them. Did they write them like the second movie, or did they write them like the third movie? All I want is for them to realize that it wasn't just the fact they made this a big crossover event that made this work. Yeah.
Like, the writers clearly got it. They clearly understood what they needed to do. How to write these characters. Let the writers, let the directors tell the story they want to do and keep your production hands off it. And at least then I will think, there's a chance, because Homecoming, you saw a bit of talent there. No Way Home, you saw a lot of talent there. Far From Home, clearly there was something else going on.
Yeah, something.
But No Way Home is the first Marvel movie since Winter Soldier I wholeheartedly recommend to everyone. It's excellent. It's absolutely, I loved it.
It's very good. I like it too.
I will buy the Blu-ray, and I have not done that in a very, 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 very long time.
Yeah, neither me nor Mikey have really sang any praises for an actual Marvel, live-action Marvel film for an incredibly long time. The last Marvel movie that we said was good was an animated one, which didn't get a lot of people seeing it because it was an animated one. And oddly enough, it's another Spider-Man movie. And another crossover event, oddly enough.
Yes, and I will say, still better than this.
I was actually thinking, I don't know. I'd need to let time happen and watch them back to back. I don't know.
I would still say I think Spider-Verse is better than this, but if someone came to me and said, I like this more, I'm not going to come at you.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, you picked a good film to like. That's the important thing.
Yeah, they're both good. Yeah, it's tricky. It's a hard one.
I like Far From Home. You go to hell and you die.
Oh my god, why would you do that? There's so many better ones. That's like saying you like Thor the Dark World, or that you, what's another terrible Marvel film?
Actually, has anyone ever said they like Thor the Dark World?
I'm sure there's someone. It's like saying you like Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I've never seen, I don't know anything about that one.
It's not good. Did you like the first Ant-Man movie?
For what it was.
Okay.
I watched it with friends, which I think helped.
How about this week you go and watch Ant-Man and the Wasp and you get back to us next week?
No, because I do not feel the need to, this isn't like it's like, oh, I should really check out all the Marvel movies I missed, just in case they turned out to be great.
How about the Marvel TV series as well, Mikey? You could watch those.
Is there any of those I actually would have an interest in watching?
Loki, Hawkeye,
No.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
No.
Hawkeye.
Oh, can we talk about the Daredevil cameo?
Yeah, that was nice. I like that.
That was great.
Yeah.
People got so excited by that, but that was great. I heard Kingpin's in Hawkeye. That's cool.
Yeah,
too.
I hear that they shit on him basically, and they don't really do him justice. Personally,
I can't comment because I'm not going to watch.
Good,
but
wise.
I'm just gonna say, Vincent D'Onofrio played the best villain. I would say the best Marvel villain. I would say Kingpin in Daredevil is the best. In Daredevil Season 1 specifically, is the best villain in the MCU.
He was very good.
He was very good.
And it's a shame
Daredevil,
Season 2 was not very good, though.
No. There we go. Andy, I will rewatch Daredevil Season 1.
What about Season 2?
I'll rewatch Jessica Jones Season 1.
You know what you should do, Mikey? You should rewatch, what was the Defenders crossover?
I'll rewatch Jessica Jones Season 1 and Daredevil Season 1.
You'll rewatch the Defenders, because
because I've committed to rewatching 2 things now, Andy.
You know what you should do, Mikey? You should rewatch Iron Fist as well.
Maybe you could go Iron Fist yourself.
It's called Iron Fisting, I'll have you know.
God, those two... Oh boy. I really wish I could say I'll rewatch Luke Cage, but Luke Cage was such a mixed bag.
Yeah, it was mainly not good. Mainly not good. It started off okay, but then it went... Nah.
Really good casting. Really good casting. I think the guy that got to play Luke Cage was perfectly cast.
He was great,
I just do not know what that show was trying to do in the end.
No.
And I'm more specifically referring to the bad guy more than anything else.
That's fair, yeah.
And then, I haven't seen season 2, but I heard it was basically kind of the same but worse.
That's kind of what I heard as well, yeah.
Anyway, I've yapped on for long enough.
Yes.
Anything you want to fill in, Andy?
I'll go over quickly some stuff. I won't go too deep into it because we're quickly running out of time. I finished Turn A. I didn't like it. The pacing picks up finally and only when they get into space, which is the last third of the show. And by pick up the pace, it gets to the normal pace of the start of a Gundam series. It is a show that wastes all of its time, and its last episode has a montage of characters doing things, so we don't even get a good solid conclusion of what happened at the end. I still think the ideas behind Turn A are interesting. I just think it completely fucks it up, and it cannot do a fight scene. All the fight scenes in that show are mediocre at best.
I would fully agree with that.
It's a real shame, because I love, again, the concepts in there, very cool. It just wastes its time way too much. So I started rewatching Gundam Wing, and I was like, wow, so this is the actual pacing of a Gundam series. It's nice. It has really good fight scenes.
Yes, it does.
The pacing keeps up. We've just had kind of the introduction of the worst part is last night I skipped 2 episodes because they for some reason had the goal to have 2 clip shows back to back, which is disgusting. If you're gonna do clip shows, if you have to have more than one clip show, you spread them out. You don't put them next to each other. Can you imagine, like 2 weeks, and you're like, I'm gonna get a new episode of Gundam Wing. It's a clip show. Okay, next week. Nope. 14 days. Actually, no, it'd be like 21 days before you got a new episode. Fucking ridiculous. So I haven't got to the part where I'm guessing the team changed over, if the team has changed over.
Well, I know that the director basically left, and they used that as they had a big falling out. Like there was stuff like he wanted to kill Hero by I think around episode 10 or 12.
When he blew up the suit, yes, he should have died then.
And
he just survived.
That's why it was heavy arms in the fight instead of Wing.
Right.
Because like it was supposed to be Troa.
I wouldn't have been against that, to be honest. Because
then he was supposed to kill Troa at one point, and he didn't.
Okay.
And he fell out. He had a big falling out with the production staff, and then they had a big changeover.
I think I've got to the point where they probably would have killed Troa because he was in the blue Viate, and it looked like he's dead, but I know he's not dead. Because I've seen the show before. So yeah, I'm guessing we're coming up to the point where they switch over the teams. Because at the moment, I'd say it's an entertaining show. It's not the best thing ever. The characters could definitely do with more work because there's too many of them. Trey's goes on a little bit too much about the fruity poetry of war, which always gets a little bit... I always sigh when anime does this. They always have like a character who's really... talking about the intricacies of the soldier's heart in war. And I'm like, that's woo-woo. People aren't doing all this. They're just trying to live. They don't want to fucking die. That's what soldiers do.
The thing is, Gundam Wing has a herd of people talking like that. That like just like a herd of them moving in every case. You're like, the soldier's glorious dream.
To be fair, it's mainly Miliardo, Peacecraft, and Trays that do that. It's not quite as strong for the other ones. Wu Fei makes sense because he's a warrior, and his is more of an Eastern kind of Chinese Buddhism kind of feel of it, or like martial artist kind of feel. And the rest are just like dead inside for the most part. Catra goes a bit crazy inside Wing Zero once his dad dies, but I don't see why his dad was a cock to him anyway. But hey-ho, what can I say? So apart from that, this week I had 3 power outages, which was fantastic.
Yay!
One on New Year's Day, one on the Tuesday, and then one on the Thursday. So they really messed with my schedule and made time go slow. I also found out 2 days before Christmas that I hadn't been paid from my job since like the beginning of November. So by the time I got to just before Christmas, and that's when I usually do my Christmas shopping, and found out I had no money. Luckily, I got my Christmas money beforehand, and thus had to use that to buy Christmas gifts. So I am waiting at the moment to get my my backlog back because they made a mistake. So they're going to be giving me my money for the amount of time I worked. And I also had to apply for a new application for my job, effectively. So I'm waiting for that to go through. But that can take up to like maximum of 12 weeks. So hopefully it won't be 12 weeks. But that's because that was sent in before, just before Christmas. I would assume they haven't started it until probably like this week, just because of Christmas holidays and New Year's Eve and everything like that. So it could be like 12 weeks. Oh, we could be down to 11 weeks max now. Hopefully it'll be faster. But yeah, that made Christmas and the whole power outages a little bit more stressful. And in terms of what I got, obviously nothing because I had to spend all my money on Christmas gifts. So that was my Christmas present, buying other people's stuff.
Care about no one, Andy. Make it about you.
That's unfortunately not what I have to do. It's part of my job to make sure that that's not the case.
I am literally required to pretend to care.
Yes. I'm literally paid to pretend to care, or care as much as I'm humanly possible, which isn't much, to be fair. But apart from that, I have been streaming every now and again. I've got back into the streaming thing, and that's pretty much it. We'll round it up there. We will see. Actually, we'll do one question because otherwise I will forget. Because it is my Facebook messages, and we'll go through any other messages and whatnot another time. Because otherwise I will lose Simon Tang's message because it is through the Facebook messaging service, and that will vanish otherwise. So Simon says, "Hi Andy and Mikey, what are your hobby/toy goals for 2022? I'm looking forward to more NECA gargoyles, but nothing announced has really wowed me so far. Like you and Mikey, I will have to be even more budget conscious. Maybe a little bit more than less than me, but this year, as both the base cost both the base cost and in particular the shipping costs have increased dramatically.
Yep.
I may shift my focus to pre-owned figures so I can light customizing. Okay,
not a terrible idea.
Yeah. So, what are your toy goals or hobby goals for this year, Mikey?
Kind of getting back into it just because like the way last year or so went, it was just kind of like not right now. So I would just kind of like getting into it more. Like when I see a Transformer I like, not having to like plan a month and a half ahead to buy one. Considering my model kit hunting, hopefully being able to pick up some of the stuff I missed out on from the last couple of years. Like I really hope I find a way to get the real grade God Gundam. It's sold out in my stockists. And again,
it's not out yet, so you should be able to get that in time.
Yeah, but like, hey, a lot of your options involve customs into Ireland, which is yay.
That's true. Yeah. Is it not new enough that your store, your hobby, whatever it's called,
they had it, but it's sold out.
Yeah, but they'll get restock.
Yeah, they will, but it will be like a year down the line because like they suffered a lot in COVID in terms of stocking.
Right.
Because,
yeah.
Hey, everyone has.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no like lines I want to get into new or something like that. I want to like around June or July do something dumb. Just buy something like a stupid purchase. One that like this costs a couple of €100. I don't need it. I'll probably be mad I bought this, but like god damn it, why not?
Okay.
But yeah, like that's kind of it. Like just trying to keep the hobby alive. Like I was thinking about this during the week. Like I've seen people say like they're older fans like in their 40s or something like that. Go like I feel like the hobby's dying for me, and
that's because it's just G1 toys.
No, well, like yeah, like
I don't mean it. There's some people that love that. To be fair,
there's at least 2 or 3 podcasts where everyone's in like their 50s and loves all the G1 stuff. So I'm very happy for them. Mm-hmm. But it's not I want something else from the franchise.
Begging for it.
For me, I want a show. This is my collect and go. A show that, or a medium, or a comic, or something that gets me interested in these characters, in its characters, so much that I say, I need this figure on my desk.
Yes, agreed. 100%. That's what anime does.
Yeah. I will try to pick up Red Knockout purely because it's Knockout. That kind of thing. Like, I want to pick up a Nendroid Miko because it's Miko and, that kind of stuff.
I'd say with VTubers it's a bit different.
Yeah, but that's because like they could actually like one day show up at your house and kill you.
That's the thing, yeah. There's a psychopath alive out there who is this person. To be fair.
Yeah, no, what about you, Andy?
I don't know. It'd be great if Transformers became more of a thing for me, but we might just be at that point now where Transformers isn't for you or me, but I still enjoy talking about it. Still enjoy covering it, but maybe it's just the toys are not for us currently, and it'll ebb and flow, and maybe it'll swing back to being more us focused at some point. Like you say, what we really need is new, fresh media. And hopefully not new, fresh media like RID 2000 and whatever it was, the newer RID, because that was a bad show. That was just generally bad. I did watch a few more episodes of Cyberverse, but I haven't finished it yet. And I still get... my opinion still hasn't changed on it. I'm annoyed that it wasn't
season
more.
2 or 3 or what?
I was on 3. We're post-Quintessons, and it feels like they're treading water. They don't know what they're doing. They're finding RC... sorry, not RC. They're finding Windblade bits, and I'm kind of looking at my fake watch.
That's a lot of standalone episodes for the most part.
It's a lot of kind of season 1-2 stuff, which I wasn't a fan of. I think it should have ended with the Quintessons until obviously the next story part kicks off. But yeah, the Quintesson stuff was really was the best stuff.
Absolutely.
We need more stuff like that. Or at least interesting writing. And it was nice to have not the focus on B or Prime or anything like that. And most shows aren't brave enough to do that. Or Hasbro mandates shows not to be that brave. So
yeah.
In terms of collecting stuff, I have some like Warhammer things I'd like to do. I've been painting kits and posting pictures of them up online recently, so it'd be a good hobby goal to try and finish more of my paintings off, or painting my models off in the future. I wouldn't mind, but I'm not sure I'll be able to afford it. I wouldn't mind getting maybe a new camera and maybe getting back into doing YouTube video, like video videos, but getting a appropriate camera is obviously not an easy thing because they're expensive and my money is limited. Like a good camera is like £1,000 to £2,000, so you know.
See, that would be kind of the thing. Like, I've made this purchase and I'll regret it for the rest of my life. But sure,
but you know, it's I enjoyed it. The main reason I stopped was I had less time, and because I had less time, I couldn't be bothered to do the sweeping shots and the fancy shots I was doing, because all of that required a lot of time to try and make sure that the crappy manual focus doesn't fuck up. Because I couldn't do... The autofocus on the camera I was using was bad. It was terrible. It was really loud. And it did not work half the time. So getting one that would have a better focus would, you know, that would help and change the filming process. But yeah, Mikey, where can people find you on the internet? As that's the only question we can do tonight.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter as Irish Palo, and you can find me on the Moonbase 2 Twitter as well. And if you want to send us any messages or anything, guys, you can do it on moonbase2@gmail.com, or on the Twitter, or on the Facebook, or on the Libsyn, or wherever you can contact us. We will always eventually get to it. Sometimes we may be a little slow, but we will always eventually get to it.
It's true. It's true.
I have nothing else to add. What about you?
You can find me on Twitter as Decayed Andy, on YouTube as Decayed Andy. You can find us on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, iTunes, Libsyn, Facebook, Spotify. Apparently we're on there. We're on most places if you look for Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast on YouTube. Patreon.com/Moonbase2 Transformers Podcast. If you do $2 each month, we promise we will do a comic show. We promise. And
yes,
there will be a Moonbase Woo-Woo up this month as well. I promise.
Yep.
I would have done one earlier, but unfortunately, power outages have kind of messed with a lot this week for me. Unfortunately,
also like fucked me over several times during Christmas. I didn't mention it, but like,
you had power outages, did you?
Oh my god, for so long.
Oh no, yeah, I didn't know that. I thought you just went silent. When you went silent, I was like, "Oh, Mikey's probably just enjoying himself or doing a lot of work."
We're in a hurricane.
Oh, well, there you go. Fun times.
Yay! Cars are flying by the window. You ever see the movie Twister?
Yes, fun time. Like it. Yeah. But again, thank you everybody for coming on back. We will be back next week as we've got back on the horse, as it were. And until next week, everybody, we'll see you next time.
Yay! Happy New Year, you dickheads.
Blah, 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 blah.